Rafa, we are in Arizona. It's beautiful out, and even more beautiful is the sight right in front of us, Ray. World Series of Fighting 23. The fighters are in the ring. Couple of hometown guys. We got Jeff Fletcher. We got Benny Madrid. They are getting ready to scrap. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good one. First of all, let me say it's such an honor to call the fight with you, and you being part of this. It's truly amazing. So welcome to the team, and
thank
good
you.
stuff.
I'm happy to be here, my man. All right, the rules of the first bout. We, of course, operate on the 10-point must system based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. There are no knees or kicks to the head of a grounded fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first fight tonight is brought to you by Alienware. We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting lightweight division. And now, introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon, he holds a professional record of 11 victories, 10 defeats. He stands 6 feet and 1 inch tall, weighing 154 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, making his World Series of Fighting debut tonight, introducing Jeff the Threat Fletcher. And now his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. His record 7 wins, 3 defeats. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 160 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, presenting Benny El Hijo Madrid. Your referee for this fight contest is Ryan Brueggemann.
You ready? Are you ready? Let's fight!
All right, we're underway. Listen, quick distinction for those of you watching at home. Benny Madrid. Madrid is the one with the longer of the hair, and he's also the one that just scored a takedown, Ray.
Yeah, the last time we were out here, Benny actually had a lot of fans. You know, he's a hometown boy, and he definitely brings a fight.
They're on their feet now, so knees to the head are legal. You can do what we call head-to-toe knees. Now you cannot. Now the opponent,
Don't need a hit.
Jeff Fletcher, has a 3rd point on the ground, which is his hand, so the knees stop. This is what Fletcher's got to be really cognizant of. When he stands, now knees are allowed head-to-toe. Here we've got Benny Madrid with the clinch. He's looking for that double leg takedown. He scored one already, but he ain't gonna use it. Now he gets the takedown to a full mount. Not a great position if you're Jeff Fletcher.
No, he's got to swim and get up and get out of there.
We call this the full mount position, meaning Madrid on top is sitting on either side of his opponent. It's one of the most dominant positions in this sport. And now Fletcher is turned over. Madrid has what we call a back mount with the hooks in. He's looking for something known as a rear naked choke. He's going to attempt to come under the chin of Jeff Fletcher, clasp his hands together and squeeze. I think he's got it, Ray.
That looks tight. Oh. Yep, he's
got it.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 1 minute 26 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, Benny El Hijo Madrid.
Thank you. All right, Benny. Hey, how you doing, Benny? Congratulations on a 1st round submission victory. How satisfying is this moment for you?
You know what, it really is. You know, today I came and let go of what I love to do. I've been pressuring and messing up my game a lot. Today, you know, I'm focused. This is a fight. You know, it don't matter who has better technique or not. I was trying to go out there and trying to play games because I was better at a lot of situations with other fights, and I was messing my game up, you know. I just got to come in here and do what I do best, you know. Fuck shit up, sorry.
Well, you know, you mentioned technique, and the technique that got the job done was your wrestling. You scored 2 double leg takedowns. Was that part of your game plan coming into this fight?
Sorry about the bad word. I love you guys. Yeah, you know what it is, and I want to thank everybody here. Fight Ready, my teammates, Henry, everybody that believes in me, my wife, my girlfriend, Tracy Cortez. I love you, Junior, my son, everybody. I love everybody. Fight Ready!
All right, well, congratulations once again on the victory, Benny.
Thank you, brother. Love you guys.
The hair. He's also just scored a takedown, Ray.
Yeah, the last time we were out here, Benny actually had a lot of fans. You know, he's a hometown boy, and he definitely brings a fight.
They're on their feet now, so knees to the head are legal. You can do what we call head-to-toe knees. Now you cannot. Now the opponent,
Don't need a hit.
Jeff Fletcher, has a third point on the ground. He scored well already, but he ain't gonna use it. Now he gets a takedown to a full mount. Not a great position if you're Jeff Fletcher.
No, he's got to shrimp and get up and get out of there.
We call this the full mount position, meaning Madrid on top is sitting on either side of his opponent. It's one of the most dominant positions in this sport. And now Fletcher is turned over. Madrid has what we call a back mount with the hooks in. He's looking for something known as a rear naked choke. He's going to attempt to come under the chin of Jeff Fletcher, clasp his hands together and squeeze. I think he's got it, man.
That looks tight. Oh. Yep,
he's got it.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 1 minute 26 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, Benny El Hijo Madrid. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Sand Nutrition. We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting Bantamweight Division. And now introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, his record is impressive. 6 wins, only 1 defeat. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds. Fighting out of Mesa, Arizona, making his debut in the Decagon. Please welcome Joey the Beast Miolla. And now, ladies and gentlemen, across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record 15 wins, 8 defeats, 1 draw, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 136 pounds, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, also making his World Series of Fighting debut, presenting Randy Steinke. Your referee is Al Guiney.
On me, guys. You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Miolla in the blue, Steinke in the red, 135-pound weight class. Boy, you can't blink when guys this size are in the ring.
Exactly. And both experienced guys. They look very fit and ready to go. Steinke looks like he's got this McGregor looking going.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's got the haircut, doesn't he? He's also got the beard.
Good.
Miolla keeping the distance, steps in with a good leg kick. Steinke literally made a face at him to say that didn't work. Steinke pressing forward. Oh, Steinke lands with the right hook. Miolla keeping the distance. If he wants to get some action going, he's going to have to come forward at some point.
Well, this is Steinke's actual experience. I mean, he's pressuring, he's watching his range, watching his distance.
Steinke looking for a takedown attempt. Miolla with a whizzer with his left arm, using that for balance. Much like a bull rider will hold on. That's what he's attempting to do, is hold on, maintain that balance. He's also using the fence in his advantage. Steinke's going to have to pull him off that fence if he wants to secure this takedown. It's good defense by Miolla. He's going to look to turn the tables here. Reverse positions and put Steinke against the fence, and they break.
Steinke obviously comes from a good camp also. He's got Ben Henderson in his corner, so those are some great sparring partners and training partners.
Miolla looks like he's loosening up a little bit here. Punch to the body, kick to the head. A couple of good shots. Now Miolla's looking for a takedown. He gets it.
He's looking for that guillotine right away.
He could have it. Steinke needs to come up.
Oh.
This is a tight spot for Steinke.
It is.
Steinke pushing down on the knee, trying to relieve some of that pressure. Signals to the referee that he's okay. Ray, Steinke is going to have to keep that pressure going with his left arm onto Miolla's knee. If he can create some space in there, he can breathe. As long as he stays in there tight, he is in danger.
Right, absolutely. But he seems to be comfortable there. You know, I personally would be hand fighting right now, but he seems to be patient in there.
Okay, Miolla's let go. He's going to be in jeopardy of losing position, and he does.
And end up on the bottom.
Miola's hard to take down here. We saw this position a moment ago. Steinke back in on the legs, but Miolla keeps that side whizzer where he can hold on and keep that balance. He's also doing a good job, Ray, of lowering his hips and using that cage to his advantage.
Absolutely. And, yeah, like you said earlier, you know, he's got that whizzer, which is helping him keep that position also.
The cage used to be a real disadvantage in mixed martial arts. I can remember it was game plans. You pushed your guy into the fence, gave him nothing to do, and then you could execute your offense from there. Now guys have kind of changed that position where when their back is on the fence, they're almost safe. It almost becomes a resting position.
Absolutely.
Left elbow, left elbow.
We have 1 minute left in the round. Contest is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds unless the athletes figure it out before that. Kick to the body by Steinke, countered by Miolla.
Jordan. 45 seconds. Good, Jordan.
Good oblique kick there.
Watch the movement, Jordan. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Miolla is just keeping a little bit too much distance to be effective with his strikes. He's got to step in about 6 more inches if he wants to land.
Right, and again, this is where, you know, he's obviously the smaller guy. He's got to find his range, keep that left hand up, and, you know, use his jab to try and get inside.
Inside leg kick there by Steinke.
Good job, Randy.
This round comes to a close. I'll tell you, that was pretty close, Ray. I hope that our fans have downloaded the ringside scoring app from the Mohegan Tribe. I'd like to get their opinion. I tell you, I really think that Steinke probably had that one with his forward aggression, but he was caught in a submission hold at one point.
Right, I do agree.
No kick by himself. No.
Let's take a look at this takedown. Steinke throws a leg kick. Miolla catches that, runs him forward, off balances him, gains the top position, if only for a minute here. Started looking for a choke attempt.
And that's where Steinke's experience actually kicked in, because again, we saw where he was very comfortable where he was at, although it was still dangerous, but he was still comfortable there.
Round 2 underway. Steinke just looked down at Ray and I and informed us that he won that first round. I tend to agree with him, but number 2 is underway.
Keep that movement. Keep that movement. Yes. There it is. Good job, man. Yeah.
There's a good combo by Steinke.
That's all day. Great work.
I like both guys to use, you know, keep working off that jab, finding his range, especially Miolla. He's a shorter guy. He's got to find that range, keep that left hand out, and see where he's at.
Now for some of our fans at home, big uppercut misses. For some of our fans at home that aren't totally understanding Steinke's game plan here of wearing him down slowly with kicks to the leg, as a 6-time world champion, you can attest those take a toll.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw that in the first Palomino-Gaethje fight. Eventually, you know, those leg kicks caught up to Palomino, which ended up ending a fight in the 3rd round.
That outside kick again by Steinke. Molina at times throws his own right hand down the middle.
Stand busy, Randy. Good job. Nice. Attack the leg.
Steinke's having a little bit of trouble with the range that Molina is forcing. Molina is just staying a little bit outside of range. Steinke's having to stalk him and walk him down and back him up. It's making it hard for him to get his offense off. He's got to time everything just right. There's a big kick.
Yeah, that was nice.
Way to take his legs out. Way to take his legs out.
That almost looked like a Ben Henderson kick right there.
That's, of course, his teammate. I bet he's been on both sides of that in the practice room plenty of times. That's in Henderson, and there's that leg kick again, Ray. That's the 3rd time that Molina's caught it. Molina with a big left hand. Molina's looking for space. This is very smart.
Miolla should break away and just start, you know, throwing bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Steinke's trying to hold on here. Miolla for a correction in the way I've been enunciating the name earlier there. Another big, this time a right hand. Steinke back to his feet. I think he's recovered. Boy, he took a big shot. He looks to have his wits about him now. And Ray, it looks like this fight just got underway.
Yeah, it really just did.
Things are changing exactly halfway.
Absolutely, and this is where Steinke's experience we talked about earlier is going to kick in. I mean, he got tagged there, got hurt, gathered himself, and now he's back in the, back in his groove again.
Miolla has finally stepped in. I was critical of him a minute ago. He was keeping too much space. He's finally stepped in those 6 inches. He's willing to trade, and when he lands, he's got incredible power.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not certain why he spent half of this contest on the outside. It looks like he's doing his finest work inside.
Good job, man.
You were right saying earlier about Steinke being, that half a step or half an inch out, because he seems to be reaching with that right hand, or left hand in this case. He's a southpaw.
There's a big duff down the middle. It missed. Oh my goodness, Ray! This one's over. Get in there, ref! Wow! Oh my goodness, Ray! I can feel that over here in my seat. I give you no exaggeration. It was as though my chair shook a little bit like a mini earthquake. Wow! It can be over just like that.
Absolutely.
Ray, we talked about it earlier. Let's take a look at this right here. A setup. Steinke dropped into it, and Miolla came up with this huge right kick. Wow, look at that. Look at how Steinke's coming down as Miolla's shin is coming up. That is a head-on car crash.
And you were right. Miolla was actually looking to throw that kick, and the funny thing is that his knee connected before his leg extended.
This goes back to the point that we were talking about earlier, but Miolla was staying on the outside for a large part of this contest. When he finally stepped inside, he was landing some real power shots.
Right.
He needed to give himself an opportunity. Now, the tides did turn. That really does surprise me. I think that Steinke was having some good luck in this fight. Wow, Miolla, what a great combo. Sets him up with the hands, comes upstairs with the leg kick, and that shin connected, Ray.
Yep, it sure did. And he was behind in this fight. I thought he was a round and a half behind. Again, we talked about him closing that gap and putting things together.
Let's listen to this leg kick. Oh, my goodness, Ray, this one's over. Get in there, ref. Wow. My goodness, now I'm not sure you fans can see this at home. I do want you to know that Randy Steinke is okay. He is wide awake. He is with his corners being checked out on a stool by our doctors. There he is, very disappointed. And I have a feeling he's probably asking somebody what happened. What happened and how many of them were there? There's a look at our winner. As far as knockout of the night, we've got our clear leader.
Yep, absolutely. But you know, this is what we were saying earlier also before the fight happened. Miolla is a guy who just has 7 pro fights where Steinke's have 25. And obviously Miolla is confident enough in his ability and what he can do against someone with so much experience. And he actually showed it tonight by knocking him out.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And in my opinion, I think it was a come-from-behind victory. Let's throw it up to Jazz and make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends at 3 minutes and 55 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by knockout, Joey the Beast Miolla.
Joey. Congratulations on a highlight reel head kick. How does it feel to end the fight in such devastating fashion?
Man, anytime we get a fight, come out here, put on a show for all the fans, man, we love it, you know? Hey, first and foremost, hey, thanks to God, 100%. Everybody says it, but it's real when it comes from me. For real, thank you, God, for everything you're giving us, man, giving me. Feels good to end it that way. He hasn't been finished yet, so for me to get that finish is awesome like that. I like that.
Well, tell me what you saw out there. How did you set that head kick up?
Well, I know him, man. I've seen him fight out here before. You know, we're both bantamweights and we've been fighting in Arizona. So, you know, a couple guys from my gym fought him. I know he's southpaw and tricky, so I just had to throw mine, keep outside that leg and throw it. You know, it's going to be there.
Well, you almost had him in a guillotine in the first round. You dropped him with the big left hand in the second round. Were you surprised at his resilience, at his ability to take punishment and keep coming forward?
To be honest with you, man, not at all. I know that guillotine was tight, though. I felt him gurgling a little bit. I wanted it. Everybody's like, let it go, but it was tight. So I wasn't surprised at all, man. Wasn't surprised.
Well, congratulations once again on an amazing head kick knockout.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. God bless.
Take a look here. There is the reaction by our winner and current leader in knockout of the night, if you will, Ray.
Absolutely, I agree. That's a big one to beat.
All right, coming up next, Andros Ponce. There's a look at him, showing some good speed.
Introducing the next evolution in high-performance desktop.
He, of course, is taking on Tempe, Arizona's own David Nuzzo, and a little pushing at the weigh-in yesterday from Nuzzo. Let's see how that plays out later tonight. Ray, I got to thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy. You've set this whole thing up. You brought in some great fights, but I will tell you this before you go. This is the greatest card on paper the World Series of Fighting has ever seen, and we are going to switch from the internet to live competition on NBC Sports at 7 p.m. and 10 in the East.
Thank you, my friend, and again, it's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you, pal. There is a look at the main card lineup that I was just referring to with our president, Ray Sefo, and look at that on top of the card. Justin Gaethje versus Luis Palomino, title fight and a rematch.
There's always beautiful left high kick from Gaethje, and Gaethje slams him down. Round 2, Palomino with some nice rights, and Palomino comes back. These guys are warriors. He knocks down Palomino here in the third. Gaethje has won it.
Oh, these guys are winners. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Coming up tonight, World Series of Fighting 23. It's live on NBCSN. That's coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Cap things off with Justin Gaethje, Luis Palomino 2. It'll be a 5-round lightweight title bout, preceded by the co-main event, David Branch and Teddy Holder, also for 5 rounds, as David Branch looks for 2 titles, already holding the middleweight, now looking for the light heavyweight bout. But a great undercard, Timur Valiev and Tito Jones, Phoenix Jones and Roberto Yong, and Brian Foster and LaRue Burley will get things started off in the lightweight division. Our next fight coming up is in the bantamweight division here inside Comerica Theater here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Andres Ponce taking on David Nuzzo, and here is the tale of the tape brought to you by Autoshopper.com. Ponce comes in at 22 years of age, 5'9". There you see his weight and reach at 69 inches. Nuzzo, 26 years of age, 5'8", 136 ready pounds, and a 64-inch reach.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Autoshopper.com. We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting bantamweight division. And now introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon. His record sits with 7 victories versus only a single defeat. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds, fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, making his debut tonight in the World Series of Fighting. Introducing David Bad News Nuzzo. And now his opponent across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner. His record, 2 wins, 1 defeat. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 137 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Scottsdale, Arizona, presenting Andreas the Punisher Ponce. Your referee is Ryan Brueggemann.
So the aerial view of the Decagon with Ryan Brueggemann in charge of this bantamweight fight scheduled for 3. Joe, what's the over-under on this thing going the full 3 rounds?
Yeah, I tell you, I really think these guys are going to get in here and mix up. Wow, some great kicks by Ponce, right as we say. You know, Todd, these guys are just so doggone fast. As we saw in our last fight, it can happen in an instant. And it looks like Ponce is the only one aware right now that the bell has rung. Nuzzo's yet to get started. He's standing his ground. Okay, there's his first punch of the night.
I'll tell you what, these guys get in the pocket and start throwing some leather. And Ponce, as you mentioned, really mixing things up here. And we're just about 30 seconds in.
And I can tell you, Todd, this is a very high energy from Ponce. I realize we're only 30 seconds into this contest, but this is high energy, particularly when you're throwing those Conor McGregor-style spinning back kicks. Whether they land or they don't, it takes a lot out of you. You've got to weigh that into your decision process.
Early on, it's Andres Ponce in the black with the red trimmed trunks, throwing the Jose Aldo inside kicks to try to soften up that lead leg of David Nuzzo, and this one's going to the ground.
Wow, I'm a little surprised at the lack of resistance that Ponce put up there when he fell to the ground.
Really hesitant by Ponce to get back onto his feet.
Todd, he almost put himself there. I mean, he put up so little resistance, and now here he is stuck. Perhaps he thought Nuzzo was going to follow him down and he could start to work a submission game, but this is mixed martial arts. Nuzzo does not have to come to the ground. There's some good strikes by Nuzzo. He's turning this thing around.
David Nuzzo going to work on Andres Ponce, who started off the first 30 seconds with a flurry, and now it's a combination of big elbows and punches as Ponce tries to respond.
Now, Todd, there's some real technique. Okay, now Nuzzo clears his space. That was some excellent ground and pound. Here we are back on our feet. Ponce has got to get this offense back going. The momentum is clearly changing.
Just 2 minutes into this one, an explosive fight early on in the bantamweight division. Andres Ponce controlled the first 45 seconds. After that, all David Nuzzo.
Good spinning back fist right there by Ponce. Ponce a very exciting fighter. I can't help but wonder if he has slowed down just a little bit from that early onslaught. Again, a spinning back kick here. It did touch his opponent, but I'm telling you, Todd, that's a high-risk move in that it takes a lot of energy. Nuzzo finding his range, pressuring forward. Good leg kick by Nuzzo.
Wow, that caught the hamstring of Ponce. You can see the welt already forming on that left back leg of Andres Ponce. Boy, these guys will come into the pocket and waste no time.
I can hear that jab over here by Ponce. He's landing. He doesn't have the big power shots yet, though, Todd. A lot of feeling out, a lot of jabs, a lot of lead leg kicks. He's going to have to put a combination together and bring some power behind it.
And the Mohegan Sun scoring app is in full effect, folks. Get on board and see how you fare against the Folks sitting ringside, the Mohegan Tribe scoring at. Well, I'll tell you what, with 1:40 to go in this one, it is David Nuzzo now back to ground and pound.
Ponce just dropped again. I am stunned at his lack of resistance, at his willingness to come to this position. This is a defensive position. Being on the ground, being underneath your opponent. You were just talking about the new story now. A judge is not going to give the bottom fighter a round. Should have come to a decision, and now Ponce is caught in full mounts by Nuzzo. Nuzzo swinging away. Anytime a full mount is happening, a referee has to take a good look at that. Ponce with these long, skinny arms has some even skinnier and sharper elbows.
Less than a minute to go here in round number 1. The big question, can Andres Ponce survive the full mount as David Nuzzo is just laying it to him?
Todd, he put himself here. He put himself in this position. He essentially sat down and let Nuzzo come on top, and I haven't the foggiest idea what that strategy was, but he's done it twice inside this first period.
Give credit to David Nuzzo taking full advantage of the mount. Absolutely dominating. Look how he's sliding up on the chest of Ponce now. He can't even kick his way out of this thing.
The only thing Nuzzo's going to have to do is not punch himself out. A referee in no circumstance will break this position and restart it. If Nuzzo wanted to use this as a rest, he could. He's choosing to attack here, but he's got to remember he has a potential of 10 minutes left. So more strikes here by Nuzzo. I'm not sure what is intelligent about the defense of Ponce or what exactly our referee needs to see, but we're about 40 unanswered strikes.
So Andres Ponce survives a devastating first round. He came out with so much promise in the first 30 to 40 seconds, and then it was all David Nuzzo in the dominant position of the mount, and it's just round number 1.
What? My foot's broken, coach. It's broken.
You sure? How you feel? Hey, look it. He's gonna want miracles now. So we keep our hands up and to watch that spin crap and watch his overhand. When he gets close to that,
I need you to fight from the bottom. All right. If we're gonna be on the ground, I need you to fight from the bottom. I want them elbows. All right.
Get in flying knees. How we doing? We okay? Hey, we okay? I need more jabs. Right? More jabs. When he jabs, we jab.
Done. He's fucking done.
Right? More jabs. Deep breaths.
Seconds out.
So an opportunity to listen into both corners as David Nuzzo tries to collect himself and calm himself down. And you heard the corner of Andres Ponce says, if you're going to fight from the ground, you need to fight from the ground.
No.
I couldn't agree more. I would go one step further in Ponce's corner and just say offer more resistance. Do not give up that position. Here we're on our feet. Good combos coming out by Ponce.
How about this suggestion, though, to Ponce? Don't even go to the ground. It's not your forte.
I completely agree with that. We'll see if he mixes up strategies here.
Wow. And Nuzzo just cutting the leg out, and back to the ground it goes. And here you go again. We've seen this act before, Chael.
Yeah, and again, I would question what part of this defense by Ponce is considered intelligent by the referee. Per the rule, the reason I keep saying that, you must offer an intelligent defense or it'll be ruled a no contest. Ponce is yet to mount. He is yet to mount an offense from the bottom. I apologize, not a no contest, rather a technical knockout. Nuzzo controlling this position. Nuzzo starting to feed his right arm between Ponce's legs, looking for a pass. He takes it out now, goes back to strikes. What Ponce is doing here by securing the head and the arm of Nuzzo, Todd, is he's pulling him down.
Right.
Nuzzo can't really hurt him in terms of power shots to the body unless he can create a separation, unless he can get his head up and get a distance like he's doing now. Nuzzo quickly grabs a hold and pulls him back down.
But as soon as Nuzzo postures up, he knows what's coming. It's going to be backhands and elbows.
That's exactly right.
There you go.
So he keeps away from the hammer's fist for momentarily, closes the guard, does Andres Ponce, and David Nuzzo regroups.
Ponce is holding him tight, looking to protect himself. not offering any offense, yet he has seemingly put himself in this position. I'm confused as to what he's looking for, or what he was looking for.
Get your feet, baby, let's go! Let's go!
Pace slowing considerably from what we saw in the first round as we approach the halfway point of not only this round, but the fight. This one's scheduled for 3 in the bantamweight division of the World Series of Fighting.
I'll tell you, Todd, there's a tactical decision that has to be made if you're the top guy like Nuzzo is. Do you want to use your energy? Do you want to constantly attack a guy if you aren't going to finish him? Because there is the remainder of this round and the balance of the next round, so you need to conserve some energy.
Andres Ponce fishing for something as the closed guard. And Nuzzo not posturing up as much as Ponce is trying to control not only that left arm, but also the head. And a mouthpiece is out. I believe that's the mouthpiece of David Nuzzo.
Stop right there, stop.
I think it is.
Put it in, put it in.
Fight! Just me, but I'd ask for it to be clean first.
I think Nuzzo wanted that rinsed. I saw that as well. I saw that as well. There was a brief pause there, wasn't there?
A little hand sanitizer with water or something. Gets him right back to action. I'll give Andres Ponce this. He is staying busy this time on his back. Trying to mount something, punches, kicks, anything.
He is. I will concede that point, but he isn't looking for the submission, which you would think if a guy is going to elect to be in this disadvantageous position, that he must have a submission or two up his sleeve that he thought he could pull out. I haven't even seen him set a submission up. Right here you can see, okay, Ponce now has what we call a closed guard, just meaning his feet are touching one another. You only have 2 submission options, Todd, from a closed guard. You've got a guillotine choke and something called a Kimura. When he opens his legs here, there was almost no offense.
Right.
He goes back to a closed guard, which is a very defensive position.
Final minute of round 2.
I think that being defensive is the best that Ponce can hope from
Improve here, improve your positions.
So right now it's Andres Ponce on his back. David Nuzzo seeming a little bit gassed here, trying to mount some more offense. Clearly the dominant position he has held for most of this fight.
Nuzzo had a very hard weight cut. I got a visit with him at the weigh-in yesterday. I saw him right as he walked in, and I said, boy, you look thirsty. I'd never met him before. First thing I said to him, boy, you look thirsty. He said, I am. I'm struggling. So when you talk about the fact that the pace has slowed a little bit, I think that that weight cut does play an effect even 24 hours later.
Let's work.
Final 10 seconds of this one. David Nuzzo doing a better job on his back opposed to Andres Ponce. Andres Ponce coming over his corner, and it actually looks fresher of the 2 fighters. Want to remind you, coming up next, we continue on with our undercard as we move to the welterweight division. Matthew Frincu and Danny Davis will do battle inside the Decagon. Frincu bringing a record of 6-1. Danny Davis Jr. 11-8-1. So 2 experienced MMA artists. They're going to do battle next here from Arizona. Back to this fight, though. Andres Ponce getting some attention there on the side of his head. Chael did a better job, and as you pointed out multiple times, not mounting a great offense from his back, but doing a better job this time of trying to keep David Nuzzo from teeing off on him.
Todd, I fully concede he protected himself well from bottom, but he elected the position. And I must know why. I want to go in there and ask him, I must know. Why are you choosing a disadvantageous position?
No, back.
Right here, they're dead even. You know, Todd, they say that 80% of fights end up on the ground, but 100% of fights start standing up. So right now, we are in the neutral position.
Let's fight.
See if Ponce can change his fortune.
So here we go, the 3rd and final round. Chael, welcome to the World Series of Fighting. I'll put you on the spot right away. How do you have this fight through 2 rounds?
Yeah, I definitely have it 2 rounds to none. Blue corner, Nuzzo, all based upon top position control that his opponent gave him.
And just like the start of the fight, Andres Ponce comes out flying some leather and a nice spinning back kick that does a little damage.
Where did this energy come from? Oh, Ooh, big uppercut misses. Good thing for Nuzzo. That one was headed for left field.
And Ponce bringing the footwork in as well. Look at this. Does he throw a little capoeira in here?
Beautiful. High energy techniques. I would have thought he was a little more fatigued.
Wow.
There, he just took a big shot.
David Nuzzo connecting on the big right, and he goes right back to the ground, and now it is Nuzzo's time to tee off.
Yeah, well, let me give you my first prediction of the fight, and that is we see this position for the balance of the contest. I do not believe Ponce has any interest in standing up.
Get to your feet. Ponce, I need you to stand up.
You hear the corner of Andres Ponce telling him, get to your feet. That's where he's had his success in this bout. Jill, how much do you hear from your corners when you're in a big fight like this?
I tell you, it's very hard, Todd. And even when I do hear them, I'm usually too fatigued to care what it is they're saying. But I am doing my best as an athlete. I know that the corner has a better perspective than I do. But when you get tired, I'll tell you, you get into survival mode. And I think that's where both of these athletes are now. Nuzzo will have to improve his position or land effective strikes from here if he wants to keep this position. And that's a mental game that fighters are playing right now. They know the fight is winding down. They know that a decision is likely. Right here, Ponce.
Look at this.
His first move of the
night.
That was his first attempt of this fight to get off the bottom, and it worked, Todd.
So now Andres Ponce, after almost giving up the back to David Nuzzo, has 220 to work with on his feet.
And he's coming forward. Now he pushes Nuzzo into it. Is Ponce looking for the takedown?
So role reversal in this bantamweight bout. Andres Ponce has the advantage as David Nuzzo closes guard, and he'll try to get back to his feet.
Look, as far as it goes with Ponce, I love the young man's skill set. I despise his strategy, but he is in dominant position right now and looking to improve. He passes to what we call side, or rather half guard, looking to get the side control. Nuzzo looking to just pull that head tight, keep it close to his body, absorb as little of damage as possible, and the only thing that Nuzzo has to do right now is beat the clock. If the clock runs out, he will get his hand raised.
Under 90 seconds to go in the fight.
Nuzzo keeping his legs crossed and his hands locked. As long as he can keep Ponce close to him, he's not going to absorb much damage.
And Andre Ponce now trying to sneak in a choke and misses. And now he's going to pay the price.
Very good defense there by Nuzzo. It looked like Ponce was looking for a choke. Nuzzo caught that wrist. He's reversed the position. And again, Ponce's one effort to get away. He's one for 0. He's batting 100%, Todd. He just needs a little more attempts of offense.
Improve your position. Side control for Nuzzo, goes back to the mount. Final 30 seconds of this fight.
Very nice pass to the mount, very technical right there. And now he's looking for these elbows. He realizes the barn is within sight, and he can go on a full sprint here. And you look at that space, the separations of their head, that posture brings the power. For Nuzzo. This one's winding down.
So the battle of Tempe versus Scottsdale goes the full distance here at WSOF 23, the final 10 seconds.
The second attempt by Ponce and the second successful effort. Excellent skills combined with a bad strategy. I've got to be a little critical of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of professional fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Jim Prendergrass scores at 29-28. Dennis O'Connell and Chris Flores score at 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, David Bad News Nuzzo.
Folks, on the Battle of Arizona, it is Tempe that gets the better of Scottsdale as we send it up inside the cage, and Joey Varner is with our winner.
All right, thanks, Todd. David, congratulations on the performance. It was a back-and-forth battle. You controlled the majority of the action. Give us your thoughts on your performance.
Hey, first of all, I love knocking people out. I hurt my hand pretty bad the first round. I can't quite close it, but you know, I'm happy with the performance. He came out tough. It was a good job. He's solid. It was a good war. I had fun.
You know, you said you hurt your hand in the first round, but it was your takedowns and your top control and ground and pound, effective ground and pound that got the job down. What was the strategy coming into this fight?
Sprawl and brawl. I wanted to stand up, but you know, luckily Arizona Combat Sports is a full MMA gym. We have everything. So whatever I hurt my hand, I went to Plan B, and that worked too.
Well, Plan B got the job done. Congratulations once again on the victory.
Hey, can I thank Arizona Combat Sports, all my teammates, also Stumbleweeds Bar, Fat Rabbit Tattoo, Your Fight, and also Team Blair Herbalife. Everyone, thank you guys very much.
Little shout out to Fat Rabbit Tattoo. Well, coming up later tonight, it's the fight that everyone is talking about.
Gaethje applying the pressure as always. Beautiful left high kick from Gaethje. And Gaethje slams him down. Round two. Palomino with some nice rights. And Palomino comes back. These guys are warriors. He knocks down Palomino here in the third. Gaethje has won it.
Oh, these guys are winners. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
And here is the fight card you can see live on NBCSN. That's coming up tonight, 10 Eastern, 7 o'clock Phoenix time. We'll kick things off in the lightweight division with Brian Foster and LaRue. Burley scheduled for 3. Phoenix Jones returns to the World Series of Fighting, taking on Roberto Yong in 3 rounds of a catchweight bout. And then it's Timur Valiev and Tito Jones in the bantamweight division. Folks, this will be an explosive fight one way or another. David Branch looks to make history. The reigning middleweight champion looks to pick up the light heavyweight bout title belt as he goes head-to-head with Teddy Holder. And in the main event of the night, champion Justin Gaethje puts his belt on the line with Luis Palomino. Going back to the fight they had in March, they get together one more time here in Arizona. That's all coming up tonight, 10 Eastern on NBCSN. Coming up next here, live from Comerica Theater, it is Matthew Frincu taking on Danny Davis Jr. in the welterweight division. The Australian and the American both coming in just around 170 even pounds, identical reaches. Davis, 33 years of age, to Frincu's 22, as we send it inside the cage. And Jazz Sakura, who will have our introductions of the fighters here. As we said, 3 rounds of welterweight action taking place here in Comerica Theater in the welterweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Alienware. We are in the World Series of Fighting welterweight division. Let's bring out your fighters. Please welcome to the Decagon, Danny Davis Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is his opponent. Please welcome Matthew Frincu. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Alienware. We've got 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting, a welterweight division. And now introducing, on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon, his record, 11 victories, 8 defeats, 1 draw, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 169.5 pounds, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, introducing Danny D1 Davis Jr. And now across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his opponent. His record is impressive. 6 victories, 1 defeat, 4 wins coming by way of knockout, 2 by submission. Standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, by way of Gold Coast, Australia. Presenting the Thunder from Down Under, Matthew Frincu. Your referee is Al Gaini.
Feel the music. Start bounce. Start bounce.
Wait for me, guys. Wait for me.
Hands up, man. He's going to charge you.
All right, here you go. You ready? You ready? Fight!
So here we go, scheduled for 3 rounds. Chael, ask you right off the bat, how big of a factor is it that Danny Davis Jr. is 11 years older than Frincu?
Well, you know, there's a lot made of that, but I'll tell you, Todd, there's a tipping point. When I was a senior in high school, I sure as heck wasn't scared of any first graders, but at some point, that age can work against you. I'll tell you, just sizing him up and staring at him, he looks like a very fit athlete. I always get a kick out of the way the fight starts when the referee turns to the athletes and asks them both if they're ready. I can tell you from first-hand of knowledge, I've always thought, no, but I'm next.
Have you ever heard anyone say, you know what, let me give it another 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, what are my options here, ref? Is this multiple choice? Good shot there by Danny Davis. Now he's got a single leg position. Not a terrific position to have in MMA. Frincu should be using his left hand to strike right here. He doesn't need to wrestle with him.
Great job by Matthew Frincu of balancing on that 1 foot, so good defense to him, and nothing doing for Danny Davis Jr., no takedown.
Whenever it comes to leg attacks, you want both of those legs, what we call a double leg position. When you only have one, the other guy's also got a leg to hop around on. It's not quite as effective a position, though Chris Weidman would disagree.
Exactly. He could have gone Karate Kid and sweep the leg, but he didn't do it.
Double underhooks here by Frincu. I don't think that's where he wants to be. Comes up with an elbow. Excellent technique. Knee to the body by Davis as he gets pushed into the fence.
Short elbows there,
And right here, Davis is standing up too high, Todd. He needs to lower his elevation, drop those hips, and kind of sink into the fence. If he keeps those straight legs in that high posture, he will get taken down here. He wants to reverse positions right there. Frincu lets him off the cage.
Danny Davis Jr. is expecting more as they broke the clinch. And Frincu does not fire off anything. So back to square one, back to the center. As we go under 3 minutes to go here in round number 1, they come together again. It's Frincu with the big left hand that does the most damage.
Frincu is southpaw. That's going to always cause problems for your opponent. It's very hard to find a lot of southpaws, so training for one and preparing for one if you're in the spot of Danny Davis is always a bit of a challenge.
Now, step to the 2.
Both these guys have a considerable range, both tall, 6'2" and 6'1", with Davis the taller fighter, but both men have a 73-inch reach.
Both of these guys with good first efforts, but they're not doing what we call combinations, Todd. If they land a kick, they've got to follow that up with another kick or some hands. If they land some hands, they need to follow that with more hands or a kick.
Wow, straight left.
With no follow-up.
So Frincu comes in with singles, and then he goes back into the clinch. You saw the blood coming from his forehead. Have to check and see exactly where that cut has been initiated. Initially, I thought Frincu was just fixing his hair moments. I was like, leave the hair alone, but he's trying to brush away that blood so it doesn't get into the eyes.
Hands up. Body.
He winds up with that big left. And
Matt, don't follow.
I don't want to say telegraphing it, Chael, but you see it coming.
You certainly do. I can see it from over here. But again, there's no follow-up to it. It's an excellent shot. I don't think he quite realizes how effective that lead left hand has been. He's landed it to the head, Todd. He's landed it to the body. It's a great initial strike if he follows it up. Again, excellent kick right there. No follow-up.
Coming up on the last minute of round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3 in the welterweight division. Danny Davis Jr. in the gray trunks. Matthew Frincu, the Australian, now fighting out of Arizona in the black with the tie red trim.
Let's go, up. Matt, go. 2. Put him up.
Not a lot of people lead with their rear hand. I'll tell you who does. It's not just Frincu, it's also Floyd Mayweather. It's a great strategy if you can do it. With this reach advantage, he's pulling it off.
And this time Frincu comes forward with combinations, doesn't do much damage as we go under 30 seconds to go in round 1. Oh, just pushes him to the ground. Davis, a little late to pounce on him as Frincu's able to get back to his feet quickly.
Take him down. Take down, Matt.
Davis with his hands locked. Lets it go, but not without landing a good knee to the body.
Final 5 seconds of round number 1.
10, 10, 10, 10.
And we will see a second round here in the welterweight division between Matthew Frincu and Danny Davis Jr. So let's go back and take a look at round number 1 as Frincu came in on the kick. It's a miss, and look at this, just pushed to the ground by Danny Davis Jr., but he's slow to pounce.
Yeah, I think Davis was a little surprised that position happened.
We got to look to counter and split that or go under it.
Yeah.
When you get in on that body lock, don't chase it forward, pull it. So you got in on a good body lock, you chase forward, he bumped it, and that's how he's covering back in. Kind of looking for
Good advice from Robert Follis there in the corner of Danny Davis.
Head feint, go 2. Look for that 10, look for that 10. Put him against the fence and fucking bomb on him. I want that 3 behind the 2 now. Do you understand?
Trevor Lawley there with some advice. I didn't understand, Todd. Would you like to explain?
You know, I'm going to let that one go. I was looking at the work of Stitch Duran making Matthew Frincu a little more presentable for round number 2.
Nice say. Well, you are as good as people say, huh? Nice say. Nice work right there.
Hold on. Oh, my.
Well, the story of the first round for me, which I did favor for Frincu, was that lead, or rather he was initiating with that rear left hand.
Right.
See if he can keep finding his mark. No, you cannot call timeout in mixed martial arts. That is one thing you cannot do. Referee lets it go.
He's talking about traction or something on the ground, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. It's like that Michigan basketball game when Chris Webber called timeout. You don't have any timeout.
You have no timeout.
No timeout.
And that poor guy will never live that down.
Don't wish that on anyone. And you saw as Danny Davis there was retreating, he did a little slide out as well. So they're probably gonna have to do during the next change is get a towel out there because water from previous fights probably has gotten onto the canvas surface here in Phoenix. As we continue on, 4 minutes to go here. This one's scheduled for 3. The welterweights on the left side of your screen, that's Matthew Frincu in the black trunks, Danny Davis Jr. in the gray trunks.
Davis is very much on defense, Todd. He's been happy to counter tackle, and here he is with a takedown, but he hasn't offered much by way of offense. Here he is with the first ground and pound of the fight. Good elbow, but Frincu gets his hips out, comes to his feet, and they break away. I'm not sure why Danny Davis didn't attempt another takedown from there. He's been losing the striking battle.
Body to head. Right now.
Yet he's also the one that is allowing this separation to take place.
You hear the corner of Matthew Frincu. They want him to come forward. Oh, came forward that time and paid the price with a short right coming from Danny Davis Jr.
Again, Davis not pressuring forward. Davis happy if this were a dance, Todd, to being led. And I'm a little confused by that. We're halfway through the contest almost, and I believe he is behind here. He's had some good success with the takedown when he's attempted it, but he's not attempted it very often. When something works in a fight, keep going back to it because your opponent will not be able to correct it midway through a competition. That's something you've got to do in the gym in the months leading to it. Another big left hand by Frincu.
Good combination coming from Matthew Frincu.
Look at that left hand just right down the middle. Davis with pretty good defense. He is seeing it coming. That's the problem with throwing your rear hand as you're starting to a combination. It's coming from a few inches further back. Your opponent can adjust and react to it a little bit. But it's a very beautiful technique by Frincu. Oh!
3-2! Minutes, Matt. Now! 3-2!
Frincu's corner calling for him to come forward again, and they want combinations.
Matt, you have to snap. It's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt.
Wow, there you go. Straight left and then a shot to the midsection.
There was that follow-up.
He's hurt. Body. 2 to the body. 2 to the body.
You ever never touch an opponent once, you can touch him twice. You always want to have that follow-up, Todd. We're not seeing a lot of that in this match, but they are sure chopping away at one another.
A lot of signals coming from both fighters. Frincu this time coming forward with that straight left. Davis is ready for it as we go up on 80 seconds to go of round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3.
Wow.
Just like that.
Danny Davis, lucky that one didn't land. Frincu with a spinning wheel kick.
Now is Frincu really coming forward. He is the aggressor in this fight here, especially in round number 2.
Box all day. Box it. 3-2. Disengage, Matt. Disengage.
Danny Davis has had some good luck in that clinch position, Todd, but he continually throws it away. He gets to the clinch, he scores his attack, then he pushes Frincu away to the open where he's not been having good luck. I'm not certain why he's doing that. His corner's got to talk to him about that.
Now, Matt.
Final 15 seconds of round number 2 as Frincu has been the more aggressive fighter here in the last 60 seconds. Can he finish with a flurry? His blood now trickling down the right side of his face.
Good outside trip takedown for Frincu. Great way to finish a round. Last thing the judges are going to remember.
So a tremendous performance by Frincu to wrap up round number 2. Stitch Duran gets to him immediately. That was a very entertaining fight. Danny Davis may disagree with us, but Frincu really, that last 90 seconds to 2 minutes, the more aggressive fighter.
Yeah, he certainly was.
Basketball with the fence, you need to go. Like, just sit down and throw. If he's going to hit you, make it get an.
There's that Frincu right hand. And Todd, again, that hand as a lead hand is coming from a little bit further away.
Yeah, the logo is
His opponent is able to react to it by a millisecond longer. It's a little harder to land. And here's that outside trip, and again, didn't do a lot with it, but what a way to end a round. You always want to end the round on top. Make sure that's the last thing the judges have in their mind before they mark their sheet.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. Back, man. He's trying to take you down. Force out. He's got nothing.
On me, gentlemen.
And that will take us to the 3rd and final round of this welterweight bout here from Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. WSOF 23, a lot of respect being paid to both fighters, but now it's on. Who wants this one? Chell, this is one of those fights that I can see going either way. At this point, Davis could be the winner, Frincu would be the winner.
Yeah, I'm favoring Frincu right now, but this fight is by no means out of reach for Davis. He's had some good success here. I'd really like to see him get back to that clinch position, whether it's on his feet or on the ground. I think that's where he's had some of his best success. Right now, he's playing second fiddle. He is letting Frincu start and finish every exchange they're having on the feet.
He's got just over 4 minutes. Does Danny Davis Jr. to make this one count as Matthew Frincu coming forward. And wow! As they release, he gets a kick to the side of the head of Danny Davis Jr., and Davis Jr. is lucky to still be standing.
Yeah, he wobbled on that one. I think he's getting his wits about him right now. He needs to keep his feet real close to the cage here. When his feet are outside, those are going to be used against him. Frincu's going to hook him and trip him and look to sweep him out. Davis comes off the fence. They're back in the open. This is the one part of the fight where I feel Davis has had his least success. I feel he's being led here by Frincu, and I'm not sure why he consistently concedes this position as opposed to closing the distance and getting his hands on it.
Matthew Frincu in the black trunks with the red trim has gotten stronger since round number 1, which Davis looked to be the more dominant fighter, and now Danny Davis Jr. in the gray trunks has just under 3.5 minutes to leave an impression with the judges.
Two. Now, keep him against the fence. Go, man, go forward now. There you go.
Where's your kick behind it?
Kick the ball and 2.
now yelling for a kick behind the strike, also known as a combination. A lot like what you and I have been talking about this whole contest, Todd.
Right now, jam him! Jam him! Go, Matt. Go for it.
Where does Danny Davis turn now, Chael, as he comes up on 2.5 minutes left? Does he change strategy completely? Does he try to get this thing to the ground and look for a submission? What would you be telling your fighter if it was Danny Davis Jr.?
I really think that that's right, that he needs to try to get this this fight to the floor. We've seen this verse a little bit different and a little bit worse. It has not worked out for Danny Davis. He's very competitive here. This is a competitive fight, but when it comes down to who's touching who more, he's getting touched. And as I say that, it's a bit of a fire lit underneath him.
Danny Davis buckles momentarily as if he was going to shut it down. Frincu comes forward and Davis gets off a few shots. Then Frincu holds up his hands like, yeah, good move, and Davis says, oh, we're still on.
Davis has landed some pretty good
he has.
2 and 3 beat combos in this round, but he's got to know that his back's against the wall as far as a judge's scorecard goes. And there will be no such thing as too aggressive for Danny Davis in these last couple minutes.
Good battle here, and the final 90 seconds are now upon us in the third and final round. Danny Davis Jr. and Matthew Frincu.
Tell you, if Frincu didn't have that left hand, he wouldn't have anything in this contest. He's almost a one-handed fighter. Gives you one thing to look at, but boy, he can throw it straight and right down the middle. And just keeps finding his target. Good leg kick by Frincu. I'm seeing Frincu's hand starting to drop a little bit. I don't want to see him get overly confident here. There's still 60 seconds of a fist fight in front of him.
Danny Davis Jr. has to find a way to score some big points now. Under a minute to go, and it's Frincu that continues to stomp Danny Davis Jr. Final 30 seconds.
Right now! Matt, cut off fight! Matt, go! You own it!
When they come out of the clinch, it's usually Frincu that's the one that's, instead of clinching, he's just backing off. He's just going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives Davis an opportunity. He hasn't quite capitalized. This was a great fight. Listen, this was a very competitive fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of professional fighting, we will go to the judges' scorecards. They have given us back a split decision. Judge Tom Gabauer scores at 29-28 Davis. Judge Dennis O'Connell scores at 30-27 Frincu. And Judge Jim Prendergast scores at 29-28 for your winner by split decision, the Thunder from Down Under, Matthew Frincu.
So a split decision goes the way of Matthew Frincu. Really came down to 1 point on that third and final card, 29-28. So the Aussie fighting out of Tempe, Arizona gets the win, and he's now with Joey Varner.
All right, thanks, Todd. Matthew, congratulations on the performance. It was a back-and-forth stand-up battle. When that final bell rung, how confident were you that you did enough to get that decision?
We had a good exchange. He hit me with big shots, I hit him with big shots, but I feel like I edged him out. I feel like I landed the more brutal blows, if you'd say that.
Well, speaking of those brutal blows, you really found a home for that left hand. You tattooed with him time and time again. What did you see out of his defense that told you the opening was there for that punch?
It honestly wasn't about the defense. It was about the amazing coaching staff at Arizona Combat Sports. These guys are amazing. They really are. If you do not train Arizona Combat Sports, you're getting second best. It is simple as that. And I didn't worry about what he was going to do. I worried more about what I was going to do, and it paid off.
It did pay off indeed. Congratulations once again on the victory.
I'd just like to thank my beautiful wife. This is a hard job, and it makes it so much easier when I have someone so beautiful over there and so supportive. I want to thank everyone in the crowd. You guys are great. I mean, I love the support. And you can take the kid out of Australia, but you never take Australia out of the kid. I love you all back home. I miss you, and I'll see you guys soon.
Congratulations.
Let's go back and take a look at a few of the highlights from this welterweight bout that goes split decision the way of the Aussie Matthew Frincu over Danny Davis Jr.
Right there was a slip. I think that might have been a missed opportunity by Davis. Caught him a little off guard when his opponent went down. And there's Frincu, starts the combination with a lead left hand. That was really the story of his offense for the night, Todd. Oh, there it is again. You think you're watching the same clip, it's just the same technique. And this is how he ended the second round, which strategically was very wise. Went to a split decision, and that helped him. Again, lead left hand. We come to the clinch as they separate. Good attacks. Davis was hurt, but he decided, nope, I want a little bit more. And I do believe the judges got this one right.
It's about to go down. Gaethje applying the pressure as always. Beautiful left high kick from Gaethje. And Gaethje slams him down. Round 2. Palomino with some nice rights. And Palomino comes back. These guys are warriors. He knocks down Palomino here in the third. Gaethje has won it.
Oh, these guys are winners. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Miolla in the blue, Steinke in the red, 135-pound weight class. Boy, you can't blink when guys this size are in the ring.
Exactly. And both experienced guys that look very fit and ready to go. Steinke looks like he's got this McGregor looking going.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's got the haircut, doesn't he? He's also got the beard.
Good.
Miolla keeping the distance, steps in with a good leg kick. Steinke literally made a face at him to say that didn't work. Steinke pressing forward. Oh, Steinke lands with the right hook. Miolla keeping the distance. If he wants to get some action going, he's going to have to come forward at some point.
Well, this is Steinke's actual experience. I mean, he's pressuring, he's watching his range, watching his distance.
Steinke looking for a takedown attempt. Miolla with a whizzer with his left arm, using that for balance. Much like a bull rider will hold on. That's what he's attempting to do, is hold on, maintain that balance. He's also using the fence in his advantage. Steinke's going to have to pull him off that fence if he wants to secure this takedown. Good defense by Miolla. He's going to look to turn the tables here. Reverse positions and put Steinke against the fence, and they break.
Steinke obviously comes from a good camp also. He's got Ben Henderson in his corner, so those are some great sparring partners and training partners.
Miolla looks like he's loosening up a little bit here. Punch to the body, kick to the head. A couple of good shots. Now Miolla's looking for a takedown. He gets it.
He's looking for that guillotine right away.
He could have it. Steinke needs to come up. Oh. This is a tight spot for Steinke.
It is.
Steinke pushing down on the knee, trying to relieve some of that pressure. Signals to the referee that he's okay. Ray, Steinke is going to have to keep that pressure going with his left arm onto Miolla's knee. If he can create some space in there, he can breathe. As long as he stays in there tight, he is in danger.
Right, absolutely. But he seems to be comfortable there. I personally would be hand fighting right now, but he seems to be patient in there.
Okay, Miolla's let go. He's going to be in jeopardy of losing position, and he does.
And end up on the bottom.
Miolla's hard to take down here. We saw this position a moment ago. Steinke back in on the legs, but Miolla keeps that side whizzer where he can hold on and keep that balance. He's also doing a good job, Ray, of lowering his hips and using that cage to his advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said earlier, he's got that whizzer, which is helping him keep that position also.
Lock your hands. Right in the middle.
The cage used to be a real disadvantage in mixed martial arts. I can remember it was game plans. You pushed your guy into the fence, gave him nothing to do, and then you could execute your offense from there. Now guys have kind of changed that position where when their back is on the fence, they're almost safe. It almost becomes a resting position.
Absolutely.
Left elbow, left elbow.
We have 1 minute left in the round. Contest is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds unless the athletes figure it out before that. Kick to the body by Steinke, countered by Miolla.
Jordan. 45 seconds. Good, Jordan.
Good oblique kick there.
Watch the movement, Jordan. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Miolla is just keeping a little bit too much distance to be effective with his strikes. He's got to step in about 6 more inches if he wants to land.
Right, and again, this is where, he's obviously the smaller guy. He's got to find his range, keep that left hand up, and, use his jab to try and get inside.
Inside leg kick there by Steinke.
Good job, Randy.
This round comes to a close. I'll tell you, that was pretty close, Ray. I hope that our fans have downloaded the ringside scoring app from the Mohegan Tribe. I'd like to get their opinion. I tell you, I really think that Steinke probably had that one with his forward aggression, but he was caught in a submission hold at one point.
Right, I do agree.
No kick by himself.
No.
Let's take a look at this takedown. Steinke throws a leg kick. Miolla catches that, runs him forward, off-balances him, gains the top position, if only for a minute here. Started looking for a choke attempt.
And that's where Steinke's experience actually kicked in, because again, we saw where he was very comfortable where he was at. Although it was still dangerous, but he was still comfortable there.
Round 2 underway. Steinke just looked down at Ray and I and informed us that he won that first round. I tend to agree with him, but number 2 is underway.
Keep that movement. Keep that movement. Yes. There it is. Good job, man. Yeah.
There's a good combo by Steinke.
That's all day. Great work.
I like both guys who just keep working off that jab, finding his range, especially Miolla. He's a shorter guy. He's got to find that range, keep that left hand out, and see where he's at.
And for some of our fans at home, big uppercut misses. For some of our fans at home that aren't totally understanding Steinke's game plan here of wearing him down slowly with kicks to the leg, as a 6-time world champion, you can attest those take a toll.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw that in the first Palomino-Gaethje fight. Eventually, those leg kicks caught up to Palomino, which ended up ending a fight in the 3rd round.
That outside kick again by Steinke. Molina at times throws his own right hand down the middle.
Stand busy, Randy. Good job. Nice. Attack the leg.
Steinke's having a little bit of trouble with the range that Molina is forcing. Molina is just staying a little bit outside of range. Steinke's having to stalk him and walk him down and back him up. It's making it hard for him to get his offense off. He's got to time everything just right. There's a big kick.
Yeah, that was nice.
Where he take his legs out? Where he take his legs out?
That almost looked like a Ben Henderson kick right there.
That's, of course, his teammate. I bet he's been on both sides of that in the practice room plenty of times. That's Henderson, and there's that leg kick again, Ray. That's the 3rd time that Molina's caught. Molina with a big left hand. Molina's looking for space. This is very smart.
Miolla should break away and just start, throwing bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Steinke's trying to hold on here. Miolla for a correction in the way I've been enunciating the name earlier there. Another big, this time a right hand. Steinke back to his feet. I think he's recovered. Boy, he took a big shot. He looks to have his wits about him now. And Ray, it looks like this fight just got underway.
Yeah, it really just did.
Things are changing exactly halfway.
Absolutely, and this is where Steinke's experience we talked about earlier is going to kick in. I mean, he got tagged there, got hurt, gathered himself, and now he's back in the, back in his groove again.
Miolla has finally stepped in. I was critical of him a minute ago. He was keeping too much space. He's finally stepped in those 6 inches. He's willing to trade, and when he lands, he's got incredible power.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not certain why he spent half of this contest on the outside. It looks like he's doing his finest work inside.
Good job, man.
You were right saying earlier about Steinke being, that half a step or half an inch out, because he seems to be reaching with that right hand, or left hand in this case. He's a southpaw.
There's a big duff down the middle. It missed. Oh my goodness, Ray! This one's over. Get in there, ref! Wow! Oh my goodness, Ray! I can feel that over here in my seat. I give you no exaggeration.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends at 3 minutes and 55 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by knockout, Joey the Beast Miolla.
It's about to go down. Gaethje applying the pressure as always. Beautiful left high kick from Gaethje, and Gaethje slams him down. Round 2. Palomino with some nice rights, and Palomino comes back. These guys are warriors. He knocks down Palomino here in the 3rd. Gaethje, Grinnell won it.
Oh, these guys are winners. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
That is the culmination of World Series of Fighting 23. We'll kick things off live on NBCSN at 10 Eastern. Brian Foster, LaRue, Burley. And it's Phoenix Jones and Roberto Yong, Timur Valiev and Tito Jones. And in our co-main event, it's going to be David Branch and Teddy Holder. Wrapping things up with Justin Gaethje and Luis Palomino. Looking forward to this one. You'll see it live again on NBCSN. Todd Harris, Chael Sonnen, Joey Varner. We'll have it all for you live from Comerica Theater as we return to the scene of the crime. Gaethje, Palomino 2, as the lightweight title belt of the World Series of Fighting is on the line. Also the co-main event, as we said, David Branch looking for his 2nd belt in the organization. Already has one. Now looking for the light heavyweight title belt as he goes head-to-head with Teddy Holder. New York versus Tennessee in that one. Timur Valiev, a very interesting fighter coming to us by way of Dagestan, Russia. He'll take on Tito Jones, and then it's Phoenix Jones, the crime fighter from Seattle, and Roberto Yong. And again, we kick things off live on NBCSN 10 Eastern, 7 o'clock Arizona time. Brian Foster and LaRue Burley in the lightweight division. Coming up next, we move on to the middleweights. Clifford Starks and Krasimir Mladenov. Starks, 34 years of age, 5'10", 186. His reach, 77 impressive inches. Krasimir Mladenov comes to us by way of Sofia, Bulgaria. 29 years of age, he is 5'9". His weight just under 186. Then you see his reach at 68 inches. Scheduled for 3 rounds in the middleweight division. We now set it inside the cage and Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Sand Nutrition. We move to the World Series of Fighting middleweight division. Let's bring out your fighters. Please welcome to the Decagon, Krasimir Mladenov. Here we go, fight fans. This one is brought to you by Sand Nutrition. We've got 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting middleweight division. First, we introduce fighting out of the blue corner. His record is perfect. 12 victories, no defeats. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 186 pounds. Fighting out of Sofia, Bulgaria. Introducing Krasimir, the wrestler, Mladenov. And now, across the decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record also impressive with 12 victories, only 2 defeats, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 186 pounds, fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, by way of Pomona, Arizona, presenting Clifford Big Cat Starks. Your referee for this contest is Ryan Brueggemann.
And the lovely Cat Kelly gets us started. Clifford Big Cat Starks in the cage at the World Series of Fighting, going up against Krasimir Mladenov.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
So here we go with the middleweights.
Clifford Stark is definitely a veteran, Todd. He's been around, he's done it all. I've studied this guy, I've had teammates that have had to fight this guy. He's good, he is explosive, and he has his hands full right now with Mladenov, who comes from Bulgaria with a very high wrestling pedigree, and I'm not sure he's ever smiled. I haven't seen it.
Got more consonants in his name than I'm used to. Mladenov coming forward awkwardly with that right. Clifford Starks a little too quick for that. First thing that strikes me is these guys, as the weigh-ins, they checked in at 185 and 186 respectively for Mladenov and Starks. Shale, at this point, after they've had a chance to rehydrate and get some good nutrition in them, there is no way Clifford Starks is 185, 186 pounds.
No, I would guess he weighs about 202, 203 pounds right now. Now, I'm not sure the same can be said for Mladenov. He looks like maybe a buffed up 170 pounder. Now, he's an excellent wrestler, and anytime you're fighting a wrestler like Starks is doing right now, when you're so worried about the potential takedown, it draws away from your ability to go out there and let the strikes go. I think even this early on in the contest, we're seeing that. Starks will loosen up as the fight goes, but Mladenov needs to make sure that Starks continues to respect him, which means he needs to get some kind of offense going, and in this case, some grappling offense. He's kind of just stood on the outside and looked at him. Big body shot by Starks.
Clifford Starks doing the early damage. Want to remind you, try your hand at scoring this bout. Just download the Mohegan Tribe Ringside Scoring app. You get to keep score and see how your scores stack up against others watching the same fight and our experts here at Comerica Theater at World Series of Fighting 23.
There you go. Keep him on his heels, Cliff.
So Clifford Starks,
Keep him on his heels. Move your head a little bit.
black, white, and red trunks, and the solid red trunks of Krasimir Mladenov. In a good battle here in the middleweight division of the World Series of Fighting.
Mladenov is going to need to get some offense going. One, to win this fight, but two, just to keep the respect of Starks. Starks is starting to loosen up a little bit. There's a shot attempt, and that's what we call a swing and a miss, Todd. There was not a lot on that.
Krasimir Mladenov going for the early takedown attempt, and you got to wonder if he just felt the breeze of that left coming from Clifford Starks. He's going to think twice about it.
Feed him every time. Don't follow him. Don't follow him. Good. Good.
A little bit of blood coming from the right eye, the right brow of Krasimir Mladenov early on.
Boy, quite a bit. By the time you finish that statement, it exemplified there. That gets into Mladenov's eye. That's going to be a big factor for him. He's already had some struggles here. He's a real powerful striker, Tom, but he's so doggone slow right now, and his setups just aren't existing. Not a lot of these shots are landing. When they do, I can hear him over here in our seats, but he's going to have to set those up a little bit better.
You see the damage that Clifford Starks has already inflicted on Mladenov, connected multiple times on that straight left, and then he'll follow the right. If you're Mladenov's corner, you've got to get this fight to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's a wrestler from Bulgaria that's got a rich history in wrestling. He needs to try to use that. And all wrestling will really get you in here, Todd, and I tell you this as a wrestler, is it will get you top control. You've then got to do something with that, but right here, he can really earn some respect by threatening Starks with these takedowns. He's not doing that. He's not doing a whole lot of anything. Starks, on the other hand, still does have this respect factor. Starks is a little hesitant to get this fight
That's your 2 right there.
too underway.
Shale, if you were coaching, you were bringing in a prodigy.
Oh, I'd have done a great job.
You would have been fantastic.
I'd have made a difference.
Goes without saying.
What was your question?
But if you would have brought in a prodigy, whether it's a boxer or wrestler, where would you rather start?
You know, I think I'd rather start with the wrestling background, and I don't think that that's a biasness statement, but it does help you in 2 ways. One, with the conditioning, and 2, with the control of the fight, and then learn the boxing. Boxing is certainly a very important element. But I do think that the grappler has always had some advantages. And many boxers have even said, Todd, that's because of the cage. It was in a ring atmosphere, and they have those ropes to work with that it changes. There's a good 1-2 combo. Speaking of boxing, landed there by Clifford Starks.
Well, you've got Starks, who's really been in control of the ring here as an excellent striker, and Krasimir Mladenov just looking for an opening. He's tried 1 takedown on Starks. It went nowhere as we come up on the final 10 seconds of this one, scheduled for 3 in the middleweight division of the World Series of Fighting. Well, after this one goes final, we've got a good one in the middleweight division. Vagabov, another fighter out of Dagestan. He'll go head-to-head with Brian Grinnell, Tucson, Arizona local, trying to get it done here in front of his fans in the Valley of the Sun. That's coming up next in the middleweight division. Vagabov and Brian Grinnell. Into the corner of Clifford Starks.
Right? A little bit more feints, a little bit more. Every once in a while, throw a short right hand. You don't even have to hit it. Pop, and then jab long after it. Pop, pop, right? He's trying to time your jab with his overhand. He's trying to time your right hand, right? We jab, show head, body, head. Head, body, head. Then jab to the chest, overhand right. Right? That's got to be tight though, son. Change nothing else. You don't have to force nothing. We want easy rounds.
Seconds out.
Shell, you get a good look at Clifford Starks, and he seemed not that winded. Cardio is his friend today.
I noticed that as well. He was not breathing through his mouth. He looked very calm. Coach Lawley, his cornerman, gave us some excellent advice, which was simply, we don't need to change anything. We're winning this fight, and he is spot on with that assessment. Clifford Starks does not have to change anything. Mladenov, on the other hand, really never got going.
Let's fight.
Underway for round number 2. 5-minute rounds in the World Series of Fighting. It's all about cage control and imposing your will on your opponent. And I think round number 1 would clearly have to go the way of Clifford Starks.
Yeah, Mladenov, being the shorter, stockier fighter, has no choice but to get inside. He cannot keep this range, and he's happy to circle on the outside, but he's not stepping forward. When you give up the height, when you give up the reach and the size, you must step in. There is no other options. I think if he was to fake some takedowns, he could then come back up with the strikes or with the kicks, but he's got to get something going. I'm not quite sure that Mladenov knows how much Clifford Starks is respecting and even fearing those takedowns, but that's going to go away in short order if Mladenov doesn't start using them.
Chest head. Offline with the chest.
We'll take you inside the corner of Clifford Starks' corner
Come in a little
in
bit.
Arizona
You're
Combat
right
Sports.
Cut that ring off. You're all right here.
On the outside of these exchanges,
jab chest, go over the top. Cut the ring off first, then do it.
Mladenov does just enough to get the respect. He seems to get one punch in each one of these exchanges, and it's a pretty thudding hard shot, Todd. I think that Clifford Stark is cognizant of this. He's got his chin buried and his hands up. He doesn't seem to be getting overly confident, though he also doesn't appear to be in any danger halfway through this contest.
Clifford Starks has a 77-inch reach to Krasimir Mladenov's 68-inch reach.
Good body shot.
Show the 2 long jab. There.
Boy, Clifford Stark has some real boxing skills.
Clifford, keep him on his heels.
I really appreciate the positioning and the basics of Clifford Stark. He puts that chin down, he puts his hands up. So many times in MMA we see guys get comfortable in these 4-ounce gloves. We've also seen them get their lights shut off in an instant. Clifford Stark, very good basics. That's the veteran that we were talking about earlier. He's not going to let down partway through a fist fight. Here we are in exchange. Mladenov has got to keep going.
Come on.
Krasimir Mladenov coming in and getting some combinations in there, and he has showed that he has the courage to go toe-to-toe with Clifford Starks. Not a lot of guys want to get in that close to Clifford Starks and take the possible punishment of a double combo.
Bates him, Cliff. You're right. 3-6 to the body. 3-6. That's go right to the body.
This is the middleweight division of the World Series of Fighting. In case you're wondering who the champion is right now, the title belt holder, well, that's a man named David Branch, who just happens to be fighting the co-main event tonight as he steps up to the light heavyweight division. He's planning on keeping 2 belts if he wins that one tonight. So David Branch showing his greed here at the World Series of Fighting. Not 1 but 2 belts is his desire tonight.
Absolute history in the making, and there's a good potential for it tonight.
Stop. Time.
Go ahead.
The referee calls timeout. I think he's going to call the doctor and look at this cut.
And it's under the right eye of Krasimir Mladenov, the 29-year-old out of Bulgaria. Safety, the first and foremost concern for the fighters here.
I'm rather confident, even from our seat here, Todd, that this is not a fight-ending cut, though it's also not great if you're Mladenov. Generally, unless there's excessive blood or a cut of the eyelid, these contests are not stopped for such an injury.
Okay. If this goes any lower, yeah.
Okay, we'll let it go for now. All right, go ahead. Stay there.
So you heard the words of the doctor, the referee. If that cut gets any lower on that eyelid, they're going to have to shut this one down. So Krasimir Mladenov in the red trunks needs to get to work in a hurry. And he comes out with some serious motivation as Clifford Stark comes in, and now he's just going to go to work, tail on that left eye, and just start jabbing away.
He's a veteran. Can't say it enough. Clifford Starks has been here before many times. He's keeping his wits about him. He's keeping his defense. He's got great basics, chin down, hands up, and he's trading. Mladenov keeps doing just enough. He keeps landing those. Oh, there he takes a big shot, possibly the biggest shot of the fight. But Mladenov does just enough, but Todd, he is not following up with takedown attempts. He's known as the wrestler. He is a wrestler. He is not even implementing any wrestling on Clifford Starks. And if he loses Starks' respect, he's going to get teed off on. That hasn't happened yet. As bad as things are looking right now, Starks hasn't even begun.
And you got to wonder how much Clifford Starks put into the gym working on his wrestling defense, knowing that he's fighting Mladenov, and so far no takedowns. This thing has not gone to the ground one time, and as soon as I say that, the announcer jinx our first takedown.
That's an excellent shot. That's the second one he's made of the night. He's had success with it. He's caught in a choke here. I can't see under his chin. Oh, he's caught. He's trying to push down on the knee to alleviate pressure. He's not succeeding. Clifford Starks needs to stay nice and tight here. He could have this. He is under the chin. Now he's in full mount. He lets it go.
Wow. Covering up that eye with his right bicep as Clifford Stark goes to work. Under 20 seconds to go.
A wrestler like Mladenov is not spending a whole lot of time here in the practice room because he's just not put in this position. And as we look at Stark finish this round in mount, Mladenov simply did not know where he is, and our referee is once again calling for a doctor to take a look at this eye, and this time it could be fight ending.
Clifford Starks was able to fire off some big elbows after that shot by Krasimir Mladenov. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a plethora, Chael Sonnen, of lefts and rights coming from Clifford Starks.
Yeah, he just keeps finding his target, but it's a bit of a stationary target. Mladenov just hasn't moved enough. He hasn't offered enough diversity in his attacks out here. He's not putting the grappling and the strikes together, and I think he's got some better skills than he's showing.
So there's the eye and the concern as it's just on that eyelid, just below the brow.
Seconds out.
The doctor has okayed it.
Let's go. Out.
This fight will continue.
No. Out. Stay in your corner.
That's good command of the ring by our referee. It's a way to take charge. This 60-second break has turned into about 75 by my count. We are underway in the third and final round.
So here we go in the middleweight division, a fight that has been dominated by Clifford Starks. Krasimir Mladenov having his best performance in round number 2 midway through when he came on with a flurry after a referee stoppage to have the doctor look at his right eye and the cut therein.
Jab there, Cliff.
And again, Mladenov coming forward awkwardly, not having the balance of a polished striker.
3-2, Cliff, 3-2.
And at the same time, there's Stark has not given up on his basics. Todd, how many times have we seen a guy have some success, start to get a little arrogant, little confident, start to have fun in there, and it all falls apart? Stark is sticking to his guns. He's dancing with the one that brought him, which is good, solid basics.
And you see his boxing defense, Chael. He keeps that right hand cocked just below his chin and the left hand constantly moving. Just surprised, though, that Krasimir Mladenov, with the wrestling background that he has, and we're talking world-class wrestling, has not really, is it a case of he hasn't been able to get Starks on the ground, or he's just thought, hey, I'll mix things up and I'll just turn this into a boxing match?
I'm not certain what he's looking for, Toddy. For the very opening round, he made a very clumsy looking takedown attempt. He never went back to it. At the end of the second round, he made another shot attempt. It was excellent, and he got what he was looking for in that he drug Starks to the ground and got top position before he was reversed. So he's had okay success. He's batting 50% out there with his takedown attempts, but he's not attempting very many.
He's certainly not having success with the straight boxing, as Clifford Starks really is starting to pick him apart. Talked about the 9-inch reach advantage to Clifford Starks. He has the experience inside the cage. And as Chael Sonnen has pointed out multiple times, Clifford Starks not getting fancy, not putting a little too much relish on this dog. He is staying with his basics and what is working for him.
Mladenov is undefeated. Our fans that aren't familiar with him, he's had a dozen fights on the dot. He's 12-0. He's never tasted defeat. But I suspect that's going to change in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds because he just hasn't mounted an offense.
You look at his record, talking about Krasimir Mladenov, he does have 1 KO in those 12 fights and 4 submissions, so he's not a guy that's going to end fights. He's, as we said at the start, he's a grinder. He's going to grind you out. Usually it's going to be on the ground.
That's perfect, Starks.
Good uppercut there by Starks. And Starks doesn't need to change a thing. Mladenov looks away right there. He was looking at the big screen.
Big monitor.
I suspect he was looking for the time. There wouldn't be anything else up there for him to see. I do suspect he was looking at the time. Could be a sign of desperation, Todd. Could also be a sign of fatigue.
Under 2 minutes to go for Krasimir Mladenov and Clifford Starks here in the third and final round of this middleweight bout.
Steer him into the right, Cliff. Steer him into your right. Steer him into
Ooh. Starks firing off a big right hand. Not going to take too many chances getting too close to Mladenov.
Tick-tock in there. When he stops moving, tick-tock.
You think about a matchup with a possible Clifford Starks and possibly middleweight champion David Branch. How would you see that one going? Branch, probably a more polished all-around fighter, but Clifford Starks' boxing tonight has been impressive.
Well, I think that's a very likely matchup. I think those guys' paths are going to cross, whether it's for a championship or somewhere else down the line. There's a shot by Mladenov. Now, again, this is his third shot of the fight. He's 1 for 2, but he's making action happen. He's making Clifford Starks now react to him. And whether your offense works or it doesn't, when you're on the offense, your opponent is not.
And there is the reigning middleweight champion, David Branch, watching the action back in his locker room as he prepares for his light heavyweight title fight with Teddy Holder, which you'll see live tonight on NBCSN beginning at 10 Eastern.
Starks on defense here, but the bottom line, Todd, is it really doesn't matter what happens. Starks can stay here all day as long as he can cross the finish line without being finished.
Yep.
He's going to have his hand raised tonight. He's digging underhooks here. Very smart. Backs himself off the fence. Great shot there.
Yeah.
By Mladenov. He's doing just there, man. Now Mladenov's exchanging.
Clifford says, bring it. Look at this. This is a full-on scrap now in Arizona.
And to the point I've been trying to make, when Stark throws a combination, he suddenly gets to the body for a takedown. He came up a little shorter as they hit the ground, but they've got to work together. You've got to wrestle and strike, and that's where Mladenov failed tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of fighting, we go to your judges' scorecards. Judges Chris Flores and Tom Gebauer score 30-27. Dennis O'Connell has it 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Clifford Big Cat Starks.
Clifford, congratulations on a dominant 3-round unanimous decision. Give us an assessment on your performance.
You know, I came in injured. Luckily, I had my coaches backing me up and saying, make it happen no matter what. I was a little bit nervous. They're like, hey, you took the last fight in 5 days' notice, so I can't go out of my shield like that, you know? 4 weeks, I'm like, you know what, I'll go out injured. Let's see what happens.
Well, you know what? You said you were injured. You couldn't tell by watching the fight. You're both very high-class elite wrestlers, but it was your boxing that got the job done tonight. Was that the strategy coming into this fight?
Actually, no. You know, his name's called The Wrestler, so I was thinking he was going to do some Muay Thai on me or something else. I thought he was trying to trick us, you know, do the loop-de-loop. So we practiced a lot of our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, everything else that doesn't negate wrestling.
Well, you got the job done. Congratulations once again on a dominant performance.
I got one person to call out. You know who you are, David Branch. You got my belt, and I won it. Oh, and by the way, hey, everybody, ACS, 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 we don't lose.
Clifford Starks giving out a little bit of love for Arizona Combat Sports as we take a look at the highlights from this one. Early and often, Clifford Starks firing off combinations, chael, and he found the target on the head of Krasimir Mladenov.
It was good, solid basics above everything else. They came into the 3rd round. I thought that the story was pretty well written at this point, but the Bulgarian just wasn't ready to go away. He was showing why he was 12-0, but Clifford Starks ultimately experienced one out, and not for nothing, Clifford Starks has been about as high up the mountain as anyone can go, and he gets his hand raised tonight.
It's about to go down. Gaethje applying the pressure as always. Beautiful left high kick from Gaethje, and Gaethje slams him down. Round 2, Palomino with some nice rights, and Palomino comes back. These guys are warriors. He knocks down Palomino here in the 3rd. Gaethje, has won it.
Oh, these guys are winners. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final fight of the preliminary card is brought to you by Alienware. 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting middleweight division. And now introducing, fighting out of the blue corner, his record, 8 victories versus 6 defeats. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 182 pounds. Fighting out of Tucson, Arizona, making his debut in the Decagon. Introducing Brian Grinnell. And now, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 19 victories, 0 defeats, 10 wins, coming by way of knockout, 5 by submission. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing 185 pounds, fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, also making his debut in the World Series of Fighting, presenting Vagabov. Your referee is Al Guiney.
Wait for me, guys. Wait for me.
Everyone wants to be by the ring girls here at the World Series of Fighting, but we are set to go in this one, scheduled for 3 in the middleweight division.
You ready? Fight!
And Vagabov comes out fast, but is he going to pay the price as Grinnell gets a hold of the leg and does not want to let go?
Vagabov's got this double wrist lock locked in. Some guys call this a Kimura lock. Either way, he's got it. It's a 2-on-1. 2 of his arms on one of Grinnell's, which is always good odds if you're in Vagabov's position. Grinnell needs to be patient here. The main thing he needs to do is just get this arm free, get it back, Oof. And you can see right here as Vagabov starts to take this to the outside and get separation from the body of Grinnell, that's where the problem set in.
Wow, I tell you what, if you can pull that chicken wing off of Brian Grinnell, that's something, because that thing is absolutely cut, and they take it to the ground. Now, here's a situation where you've got Brian Grinnell head down and Vagabov trying to put some kind of hold on him, but Grinnell almost in a modified side control.
Yeah, he is, and this is where the power really comes in. I was talking about this earlier, but when he is his most dangerous is early in the fight, particularly in the first round. All those muscles really work when a fight's early. A little bit later in the fight, you start to carry that around, and it can become a disadvantage, which has been a little bit of the past career of Grinnell. And right here, I'm a little surprised. Vagabov hasn't done a darn thing since we've hit the floor. It looks like he's happy to hold on and just hope to wear a little energy.
Is this a case where he thinks that choke is in tighter than it possibly is, and Grinnell can just sit there all day and just tee off elbows onto his thigh?
I can't imagine, Todd, and if he does think it, I can assure you from my vantage point, he's wrong. He does not have that. He's got to get underneath the chin. He has his hands clasped, but all that's going to do is annoy Grinnell. Referees now talking to him. This is a hard position to break. It's within the referee's authority, but it's a very hard position for him to break because the hands are locked and he's not in what's called a closed guard. He's in this half guard position. At the same time, we've got to see some kind of action. Grinnell goes to the body with a shot, and it does get Vagabov to unlock. Grinnell has got to improve his position here, and Vagabov's got to do the same thing. They've got to move. Vagabov is now on one hip. He can move from there. When he's flat on his back or as small of his back is on the canvas, he's pretty well planted. He's got one hip down now, which is good for movement should he choose to do it. He's got an underhook. This is a great position for the bottom man, Vagabov, to pop up, to use this underhook to push Grinnell off him and work to get his own height and elevation back. Grinnell pushes him back down. You see the small of Vagabov's back is now on the mat. That's not great for him.
Shale, this is a totally different fight than we saw in the bantamweights where it was non-stop action. This is more like a slow-motion chess match, but this is high-level grappling and jiu-jitsu.
Yes, this is definitely a chess match, and these guys can feel things. So you and I can only see things, but these guys can feel them. When your opponent has an underhook, you can feel that he's about to explode, and you've got to hold that position. Grinnell right here is in a great position if he wanted to start doing some ground and pound. These elbows are wide open. Even if they don't create damage, they're going to get a reaction and they're going to score with the judges. He's also got body shots. He's also got knees to the body that are allowed in this type of a contest, and he's not using them.
Yeah, this is just strange. It's very slow, very methodical. The fans in the arena here at Comerica are kind of picking up on it. Everyone's just watching very intently, not the lack of explosive maneuvers. But as Chael Sonnen pointed out, this is very tricky. One mistake by either fighter, and this fight's going to be over really quick.
Vagabov is in a lockdown position where his legs are wrapped around his opponent's legs, and then he's straightening them out. That will make it hard for his opponent to advance position, but it will make it impossible for Vagabov to get out of this position, and he is losing the round if he just lays on. But right here he's locked in a choke. That arm's not quite across the artery enough.
Final 10 seconds of a very slow and methodical round number one, an interesting one that'll be scored by the officials as Grinnell really firing off his first punches of the night as round one comes to a conclusion. Want to remind you, coming up tonight live on NBCSN, it's World Series of Fighting 23 as Justin Gaethje once again puts his belt on the line against a familiar foe in Luis Palomino. David Branch and Teddy Holder in the co-main event, and Luis Palomino coming in looking dapper. Looks like he went to the Chael Sonnen School of Dress.
I got to tell you, I respect that outfit. You're going to the office, you got to dress the part.
I'll tell you what, the hair is up high and tight. Palomino coming to do some work. We've got a good one, though, right now on the undercard in the middleweight division. Vagabov right there at 19-0 has his hands full, quite literally, with Brian Grinnell.
Go ahead, big bro.
Yes, Vagabov is going to have to change strategies. He had that Kimura on their feet in the first round. To remind you, Todd, when he gave up that position, I think the strength of Grinnell overwhelmed him. Before he knew it, the time ticked away, and that round was over. He cannot make that mistake, not twice in a 3-round contest.
It's amazing. You look at both these fighters, and they both weighed in right around 183 pounds, and Grinnell looks like he could be 195 plus. A little smaller, a little compact, but certainly built solid. And this time, Vagabov says, I've had enough of that ground game. Let me see what I got in my fists.
Oh, good
jabs.
jabs.
Lots of good jabs coming. And Vagabov opts not to keep it on the ground. He's going to keep this one up top. Whoa, the mouthpiece comes out of Grinnell, and now Grinnell is in trouble.
No, I'm quite sure he is very fatigued. Vagabov happy to give up this position again.
How about that flurry as Brian Grinnell looked like he was about done. He said, I got to get this thing to the ground where I'm safe. These up kicks could be dangerous, and he takes the back.
Vagabov's wrestling defense is shockingly limited. Grinnell almost looked like he was looking for a way out. Quite frankly, Todd, he looked like he wanted this contest to be over, and the next thing you know, he's found himself in the top position, and the skills aren't terribly different, but the strength is, and Vagabov has not responded well to Grinnell's power.
Talk about the strength of Brian Grinnell in those arms. He's the last guy you'd want to give your back up to, and a possible rear naked choke.
We're going to see a reversal here if Grinnell can't get his head up. Vagabov coming out the back. Vagabov lets him up. Grinnell hasn't offered.
Time.
Referee calls timeout.
Go over that corner. Go over that corner.
I am confused.
Over there.
He's got Grinnell's mouthpiece.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
we lost
his
a mouthpiece.
Came out earlier in the round. And unlike we saw in the earlier fight, this one's going to get rinsed off.
This one is going to get rinsed.
Talk about saving.
I support that. If you're going to break the action,
Yeah.
give the guy a clean mouthpiece.
Fight.
Grinnell back in here. Takes a big shot. Grinnell knows what he needs to do, and that is stick with his wrestling, use that power, and get to a top position. Todd, he's starting to slow down. Fatigue is definitely a big issue. And that will happen when you're a big, strong guy. It can be hard to carry that around for a full contest, but Grinnell is controlling this position that he's got Vagabov's back against the fence.
You just don't know if this single's going to do enough to get Vagabov to the ground, where Grinnell certainly wants this fight to go, because this is not going to work for him.
Fight back now. Fight back.
Vagabov is now just teeing off. It's knees, it's over, and it's over.
Stop, ref, take control.
Get over. Stay over here. Look at my eyes. That's enough. Stand right here. Stay right here until I tell you to move.
I do not know if that's the fighter. I think the referee did not step in there. I'm a little confused.
That's it. It's over.
He's called a stop to the fight, and I think it was a language barrier because Vagabov still doesn't know what's going on. So someone needs to speak with him in his native tongue and tell him exactly what's happening.
I understand that. It's over. It's over.
That's what we call a brilliant actor right there, Todd. That's a guy that knows he just violated a rule.
It's over. I called it, and then he hit you after the bell, okay? That's a whole nother issue. You stay right here.
Guys, get in there. Open the gate. Let's get a couple more commissioners in there. This fight is over. Get in there, gentlemen.
So the official called a stop to the fight. Brian Grinnell clearly in trouble. Vagabov, whether he didn't understand or didn't care to understand, continued to throw punches at Brian Grinnell after the fight, and that's really what frustrated him. Let's go back and look at this one more time.
You know you did. You know. You were. Yeah, I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Al Gaini has seen enough and stopped this fight at 2 minutes and 29 seconds of round number 2, officially a TKO due to strikes. Your winner, Vagabov.
Well, Vagabov wins the fight, but he doesn't win a lot of fans here in Phoenix at Comerica Theater. From the Valley of the Sun, it's World Series of Fighting 23 live from Comerica Theater. Tonight, David Branch, already with a title belt in the middleweight division, looks to pick up another one in the light heavyweight division. But standing in his way, the Tennessee Volunteer, Teddy Holder, looks for his night to shine in Arizona. Will he be walking away with a title belt? It's all live on NBCSN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Series of Fighting 23. We are back at the awesome Comerica Theater in the capital city of Phoenix, Arizona. We'd like to welcome all our viewers that are watching worldwide at NBCSN. This event is sanctioned by the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission. And now, our first fight, brought to you by Alienware. We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting lightweight division. And now, introducing, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon, on my right, his professional record is perfect with 6 victories, no defeats, 2 wins coming by way of knockout, 2 by submission. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 155 pounds, fighting out of Gilbert, Arizona, making his debut in the Decagon tonight, introducing LaRue, the Cannibal Burley.
All right, my keys to victory for LaRue. He's got to take charge. He's got to get to the clinch. He needs to watch the armbar when this thing hits the floor.
And now, across the Decagon, his opponent awaits, fighting out of the red corner, 22 victories, 7 defeats, 9 wins coming by way of knockout, 12 by submission. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 156 pounds, fighting out of Inglewood, Colorado, by way of Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Tonight, he makes his 2nd appearance in the Decagon, presenting Brian Foster.
All right, if Brian Foster wants to have success here tonight, he's got to push the pace. This is his key to victory. He needs to wear his opponent down, and he's got 15 minutes to do it.
Wait for me, guys.
Your referee is Al Guiney.
And the lovely Emily Miller gets things started off tonight live on NBCSN at World Series of Fighting 23. So here we go. It's Brian Foster in the red corner, LaRue Burley in the blue corner.
Todd, I've known Foster a long time. He was a college wrestler out of California, but he's better known in the MMA world for his striking skills. He's one of those Dan Henderson types, if you will, that's really converted. And right as I say that, he lays in with a combo and another combo. That was fast, and he caught Burley on that one.
Brian Foster with an impressive record of 22-7, and 9 of those victories coming away with KO, and add another one to the list.
Get in there, ref.
Brian Foster just rocked LaRue Burley.
You're out, man, you're out.
Do you understand my comparison to Dan
Holy
Henderson?
smokes, dead on, Chael Sonnen.
My comparison to our own boss Rutan, who's at home sending me text messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends at 32 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by knockout, Brian Foster.
Brian Foster, congratulations on a vicious first round knockout. How good does it feel to end the fight so early and in such a devastating way?
It was expected, man. You know, we would be prepared. I've got some of the best coaches in the world, man. I've got 20 years of experience. Each of these gentlemen, you know, jiu-jitsu, striking, and wrestling. I've got the most experienced corner in the game, man. With these guys behind me, I'm coming for that title. Mr. Gaethje, you better be prepared.
Well, you know, just as you started trading punches, our commentator, Chael Sonnen, he made the comparison of you to Dan Henderson, and then you live up to the comment. How does it feel to be compared to a living legend by a living legend?
That's to be expected too, man. You know what I mean?
Well, you're calling out Justin Gaethje. He still has a fight tonight, taking on the rematch, Palomino. How do you see that fight going?
it's a toss-up, man. That was such a scrap last time. You guys are in for a show tonight. Them gentlemen are going to give you the same thing they did last time. So I'm happy to face either one of them. I really don't care. There's an 8-man tournament coming up, and I better be the favorite. That's all I'm saying. You boys better be prepared.
Congratulations once again on an amazing victory.
So Brian Foster gets the victory in dynamic fashion. Here it is one more time. LaRue Burley calling him on.
Todd, it's just a combination of striking with grappling right here. Burley just doesn't know what to expect, and Foster sees that opening. He steps in. Thank goodness our referee was prepared, and even a beautiful backflip.
The straight right and then a hammer fist, and Brian Foster picks up his 23rd professional victory, 10 KOs. We'll be back live on NBCSN when we return to Phoenix and the American Theater.
Gentlemen, our next fight will take place at a World Series of Fighting catchweight of 160 pounds. Let's bring out your fighters right now to the Decagon. Please welcome Roberto Yong.
Bout between Phoenix Jones and Roberto Yong. Jones, 27 years of age, 161.6. There you see his reach. And Yong, 31 years of age, 5'11", just under 158 pounds, and a 76-inch reach. Remember, this is 3 rounds in a catch-weight bout. We now set it inside the cage. Jan Sakiro has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Sand Nutrition. 3 rounds at a World Series of Fighting catchweight of 160 pounds. And now, introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. His record sits even, 2 wins, 2 defeats. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing 157 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona by way of Sacramento, California. Tonight, he makes his World Series of Fighting debut, introducing Roberto Ali Yong.
If Roberto wants success tonight, he's got to focus on defense and also attack the body to slow his opponent down.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner. His record, 5 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet tall. He weighs 162 pounds. Fighting out of Seattle, Washington, making his 2nd appearance in the Decagon, presenting the Vigilante, Phoenix Jones.
Phoenix Jones has come a long way. I think if he wants success here, he's going to have to finish his combinations, and he's got to use leg kicks to keep his opponent on the outside.
Your referee for this fight is Ryan Brueggemann.
So we are set to go in a catch-weight bout here. This one's scheduled for 3. Cat Kelly gets us started off in round number 1.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight!
And another explosive start. This one, Roberto Yong, coming off of 2 losses, trying to put that behind him quickly on Phoenix Jones.
You know, Phoenix Jones primarily is a grappler. He's been working on his striking out of the AMC with Matt Hume and UFC champion Demetrius Johnson, to name a couple. But he really is primarily a wrestler, Todd. He needs to push him into the fence like he's trying to do now and look to drag this to the floor. Yong with some space, throwing a 1-2 combo, lands a good jab there. Jones coming over the top, looking to keep pressure on his opponent's head. They're back in the neutral position.
Boy, the speed of Roberto Yong could be problematic for Phoenix Jones.
Big right hand he landed too, Todd. It only takes one of those there. Speaking of, Phoenix comes back. Phoenix is finding some luck with his front headlock position, Todd, but he doesn't seem to know how to finish from here. He's got a couple of options, and one is to just jump back and pull his opponent down. I think instead he's choosing to try to focus on his grip. If he can get his hands locked just right, a guillotine choke is an option from here. And unless Yong starts doing something for defense, mainly attacking at the hands, he's going to increase the potential. He's caught in one. Here we break away.
And he goes right back to that guillotine.
He comes back to this front headlock position. I would assume he's setting up a guillotine. And In this position, Todd, it's all about getting your hands locked the right way. You need under the chin, and then you'll begin the arch position. Phoenix is arching a little bit here, but I don't think he has his hands locked. If Yong can put weight on the hands and pull that grip down, he should pop out of it. Yong does look a little bit confused. I think he's tapping.
Defend yourself.
No, he was striking, and there is a difference.
So Roberto Yong comes out of that one not once but twice. And remember, Phoenix Jones is in trouble as he gets rocked, and he is coming off a loss to Miolla. He's got to do something here or this one's going to be over.
Jones is really eating some big shots there. It's a solid chin, those punches I can hear over here all the way in our seat. Phoenix Jones needs to get back to this clinch position. Yong with a 1-2 combo, very nice. Picks him up, takes him down. Phoenix Jones in side control now. He's got a couple of options from here. He wants to maintain position while working ground and pound and looking for submissions. He moves to what's called the north-south position. He could begin to attack an arm and look for a Kimura. Right here, he's got the lock. He's gonna need to bring Yong back to a hip.
Well, I'll tell you what, as awkward as it looks, Phoenix Jones has a lot of options, and that's it. Phoenix Jones has defeated Roberto Yong.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a scissors choke at 3 minutes and 9 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, the Vigilante, Phoenix Jones.
All kinds of firsts taking place tonight here at World Series of Fighting 23. We've got a crime fighter donning the mask. Chael Sonnen, welcome to WSOF as we take a look at the highlights of this one. In the first round, Phoenix Jones, he'll be talking with Joey Varner, but this one started off, and I thought, honestly, Roberto Yong had this thing figured out. The striking was impeccable.
Yes, typical disclosure, Todd. Don't try this at home. But right in here, they're trading punches. This was really anybody's fight. With that said, Yong needed to keep that distance, making a striking battle, and Phoenix Jones really needed to close the distance and try to drag this thing to the floor. That story was told pretty early on as they're out here trading, and our crime-fighting heroes getting the worst end of that. Now, this submission is very unique, very pretty, and also it was not locked on. It looked like Yong had just had enough, and this one is over.
So Phoenix Jones picks up his first victory in the World Series of Fighting. He is beside himself. We'll find out how he really feels when we come back to Comerica Theater. Joey Varner will talk to the crime fighter, sans mask.
Todd. Phoenix, your World Series of Fighting debut, it didn't go your way, but you return in spectacular fashion. What did you learn from that first fight, and what did you work on this camp?
We worked on our ground game. You know, we learned the first camp is that you can be a terrible person, be really, really, really boring, and just lay on someone and try to molest them in front of your friends and family, and the Robert's gonna let you do that. But I made this shirt in case he wants a rematch. The shirt says Emmanuel Walo sucks, and every time you buy a Phoenix Jones shirt, you get a free Emmanuel Walo t-shirt, so.
Well, let's take it back to the first round of this fight. You finished the fight, but you were in some serious danger. He connected with some solid shots. You looked like you were almost out of there. How hurt were you?
You know, I don't remember, so I couldn't have been hurt that bad, right?
Well, I guess that says it all. Phoenix, congratulations once again on your first World Series of Fighting victory.
Hey, thank you. One more thing. This WSOF universe, all you guys out there, I'm living my dream. You can write me Twitter, Facebook, all those messages. I'm not listening. I'm gonna be in this cage every day. I'm in the gym every day. You got a problem with me? Come get me. You know where I'm at. Holla at your boy.
And there you have it. Phoenix Jones gets his first victory in the World Series of Fighting. We'll be back with much more, including the co- and main event on NBCSN. This is WSOF 23.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight will take place in the World Series of Fighting Bantamweight Division. Let's bring them out. Please welcome to the Decagon, Tito Jones. Welcome back, fight fans. Once again, we are live at the awesome Comerica Theater in the capital city of Phoenix, Arizona. This fight is brought to you by Autoshopper.com. We are scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting Bantamweight division. And now, introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon. His professional record sits with 11 victories, 7 defeats. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 132 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona by way of Panama City, Florida. Making his debut in the Decagon tonight, introducing Tito Jones. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. His professional record is impressive. 9 victories, only 1 defeat. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 136 pounds. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia. Presenting Timur Lucky Valiev.
All right, Timur, I think he's got a couple of focuses tonight. And first off is he needs to stay off the bottom. He's got great combinations. He lands them from his feet, and he needs to stay there.
When the Decagon door closes, your referee is Ryan Brueggemann.
So we are set to go as Emily Miller gets us started here in Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. The bantamweight division, Timur Valiev and Tito Jones live here on NBCSN.
Let's fight!
Tito Jones making his debut here at the World Series of Fighting. Wow, what a way to welcome him to the organization. You put him up against Timur Valiev, and very unassuming young man, very quiet, soft-spoken, but inside the Decagon, this kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's what every promoter wants. He comes out and he fights. In fact, the standing around process that we've seen right now, Todd, is more standing around than I've ever seen him do in his career. And just as I say that comes a spinning kick. He lands an old Tito Jones. Tito Jones used to train with Roy Jones Sr. in boxing. He's got very good hands, but he isn't quite as diverse as Timur. So this is going to be a matter of who can get off first, who can implement their skill set. But if Tito can watch those kicks, he's got very good hands with great combos.
Former Golden Gloves champion, as you talked about, training with Roy Jones. This is a whole different beast, though, with Timur Valiev. You're talking about an ultimate mixed martial artist, and that's exactly what Valiev is. He's a great striker. He's great on the ground. His jiu-jitsu is spot on.
He comes with that same back kick that he had success with a moment ago. This one misses, steps in wildly with a kick. Valiev having a hard time finding his range. Same goes for Tito Jones. One guy, Todd, at some point is going to have to step forward.
Yep. Tito Jones does bring a lot of speed, and he has that cage workmanship. He can handle the cage. He handles space so well, and excellent footwork. Wow! Something we haven't seen as Valiev gets caught with a foot in the air, gets popped, and he says, let's go.
Yeah, he took that right on the nose. Good recovery. He is marching forward. It's not an act. He is fully recovered.
Smart Tito Jones. A lot of guys would just come rushing in saying, yeah, I'll come after that. Let your ego do the talking. And smartly backs down, lets things settle down just a little bit. Didn't see an opening.
Yeah, those knockdowns, you know, Todd, even those quick ones, the judges have to take note of that. That is a knockdown. That could be a big deal later. In with another side kick to the body. Valiev has just been a slight bit out of range. He's had a number of very good strikes here, but they just haven't touched their target. And largely that's because Tito Jones is not choosing to engage. Valiev's either going to have to back Tito all the way to the fence where he can stop this motion, or Tito's going to have to change trajectory, or we're not going to have a fight.
Tito Jones smartly just continuing to move out of the way of the kicks and punches. Now, it's worth noting that Timur Valiev lost his first professional fight, but since then, he has rattled off 9 straight to be at 9-1 here at the World Series of Fighting.
I love that. I love stories where guys stay persistent and stick after something. Valiev's being persistent right now. He's walking him down. He's just not walking him quite far enough. If he can back Tito all the way to the fence, he'll stop this motion. But backing him partway to the fence and then letting him off the hook hasn't gained him any ground.
In past fights, Valiev's fighters, his opponents have been willing to stand in front of him, and that is a huge mistake with this young man. He brings it at so many different levels. There you saw the spinning back fist.
Tito Jones has what we call in the fight game good eyes. He can see things coming. He can react to them early. I do feel, Todd, I feel Tito is missing an opportunity with some counter strikes here. He's not willing to be offensive when then you must be defensive. There, Valiev steps in, but he's not stepping all the way in. He's backed Tito all the way to the fence. If he can just back him another 12 inches, he'll have him pinned down.
You gotta wonder if Valiev will be patient enough. You can see him coming forward. He's constantly the aggressor here. Tito Jones, though, has the explosiveness in those gloves, Chael, that he could catch him if Valiev leaves himself open if he gets too impatient.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Don't forget, he set him down just a few minutes ago. And right there's another opportunity for Tito to counterpunch. Valiev has him so close to the fence, but unless he pushes him into it, it's a non-issue. And there Tito Jones comes up. Now Tito's got an opportunity to back Valiev up, should he choose to, but no, Tito goes right back. 20
those
inches off the
inside
cage.
kicks are vicious, reminiscent of Jose Aldo. In the clinch, and a big knee coming by way of Tito Jones.
Excellent knee to the body.
So we will see a second round when we return to Phoenix. You're watching WSOF 23.
Seconds out. Step back for me.
You know, Todd, that first round was very competitive, but one distinguishing point was the knockdown here. Now, I'll admit it was a flash knockdown, and Timur was right back up, but he did go down, and that will matter with the judges, at least somewhat, should we get to that point, as round two has just begun. A little bit more of the same. Timur still operating with his back dominating the cage, and his opponent, Tito Jones, about 12 inches off of the fence. There was a good trick kick by Timur, but it's just not quite landing. He's not finding his range, Todd.
Valiev knows one speed, and that is all out. Look at this. Comes forward, different combinations. It's always interesting to see his left hand. He doesn't paw at him, he circles. Ready to go again after the clinch break.
He is scoring points, if you will, with the judges. He is touching Tito Jones more than Tito's touching him, but he's just not quite able to find that range. I'm confused why he doesn't push him all the way into the fence or take a step back and tell Tito, come on. If we both move the way you're moving, we've got two guys running away from one another.
There you see Lance Palmer sitting with WSOF President Ray Cephal watching this fight very closely. Timur Valiev is one of the guys that so many people would like to pair him with. Marlon Moraes' name comes up as the champion of the bantamweight division for the World Series of Fighting, but a lot of folks said they're really close friends and they might not want to fight each other, but that is a fight that I think a lot of people would love to see. That's if Valiev can get past Tito Jones tonight here in Phoenix.
As far as contendership goes, there's no disputing that. As far as friendship goes and a likelihood, I don't know if we'll see that fight, but I fully agree that the rankings should go that way. Valiev again with the kick. He is scoring some points here, but he's not able to get off his typical combos, Todd, because Tito is just not engaging. And again, Tito Jones is only about 20 inches away from the cage, but Valiev is not pushing him into it. I don't know what the point of stalking your opponent is if you're not going to shove him into the fence.
takedown attempts as of yet here with 2:30 to go here, the halfway point of the fight and the round. This one's scheduled for 3 in the bantamweight division. Timur Valiev in the black trunks with the red trim, and Tito Jones in the multicolored trunks with the orange and black.
Valiev is doing the best that he can. He is chopping. Okay, here we go.
So now it gets to the ground, and we'll see how Tito Jones fares on his back.
Valiev's got to rack up some points here. I feel that he has been controlling this fight, but he was knocked down in the first round. And frankly, it's been very hard for him to get an engagement from Tito Jones. This is the one position of a fight, Todd, where you don't need your partner to agree to engage. He's stuck. Let's see if Valiev has enough energy here.
Wow, those elbows coming in viciously, but it's Valiev that is the one that is cut right now.
Whenever you get on top of a guy, you had to use a lot of energy to get there, and it can be very seductive to catch a few breaths. Valiev needs to be very disciplined and make sure he uses this opportunity to score. Tito's got what we call a closed guard, Todd, meaning his legs are touching, they're locked around each other. You've only got 2 submission opportunities from there, a guillotine choke, something known as a Kimura lock. Neither one does he have, so he's really using this as a very clear defensive position, hoping to just protect himself.
Valiev with wild swings as he postures up and rains down. Not making a lot of contact yet with Tito Jones, but staying very active.
Yeah, and Tito, for the most part, is succeeding at his goal here, which is protecting himself. He's not making any illusions of winning this part of the fight.
Stay out of the eyes.
But for the most part, he is surviving. He's only got roughly 20 seconds to get to the next round where he's going to be on his feet. Just largely where he's most comfortable.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2, and it looks like we are going to go to a 3rd and final round. We'll have that for you when we return to Phoenix on NBCSN. Hold on. Back inside Comerica Theater here in Phoenix, Arizona. Todd Harris, Chael Sonnen, and Joey Varner on hand for World Series of Fighting 23. This is the 3rd and final round in the bantamweight division. Timur Valiev on the left side of your screen, taking on Tito Jones. And Chael Sonnen, put you on the spot here. How do you see this one scoring so far through 2?
Well, I really think Valiev has backed him up, and that he's done the most aggression. I think he's the one trying to win the fight. I do have to keep in mind that he was knocked down in the first round. It is very possible that we are 1 round apiece, and that whoever wins this next stanza is going to get their hand raised should this go to the judges.
Valiev coming out at the end of round number 2 with blood coming off his brow, and he looks right at one of the best cut men in business, Stitch Strand, and just says, I'm good.
Yeah, he's got no problem out there fighting. Now, Tito Jones is finally coming forward, and you're seeing that Valiev is able to get off a little bit more. He's able to touch him a little bit more. Tito Jones is going to have to throw some punches himself, though. He can't just be a counter fighter. He's going to have to take one of those arms of his, double up a fist, and move it in a forward direction at some point in this contest.
During the break, Tito Jones' corner telling him this is what you wanted. Now let's back this guy down. Just what Chael Sonnen has pointed out. It has been Valiev who has been backing down Jones. So now it is time, according to the corner of Tito Jones, for him to do the backing down. There he is, the aforementioned Stitch Duran, working the corner of Timur Valiev. That guy's everywhere.
Stitch is everywhere. And as you say that, I'm watching Tito. I'm counting his punches in this round. He's thrown a total of 3. He's got to make a fist, Todd, and throw it in a forward direction towards the person standing across from him. And I don't know how to give a clear analysis than that.
and it's hard not to fall in love with the work of Timur Valiev, as you said, as a promoter, as a fight fan, as an announcer, because he continues to push the pace. He is active. He is always coming forward. He's explosive. It may not always land. It may not always be sexy or big strike, but he is always coming forward, and a good combination there from Tito Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Tito has very good success when he attacks. He's just simply not attacking enough. Now we've got two guys standing in the middle, and they're trading. This is what we've been waiting for all fight long. Here we go. Valiev throwing wildly. A lot of power. There's a big double.
That caught Tito Jones off guard as Valiev just bull rushed him and threw him to the canvas.
Now Tito Jones can scoot himself back, get his back onto the fence, and attempt to get elevation with his head. He'll work his entire body back to his feet. If Valiev can turn him sideways and not allow Tito to get his back, specifically his back, onto the fence, he's going to hold this position. And right now, Valiev's winning this battle. Tito needs to try to scoot himself and get his back onto that cage, and then he can start to work for elevation.
You can hear both fighters absolutely gassed in this one, and they have good reason to be. They have gone hard for the first 2 rounds, and we are down now to the final 90 seconds of this one. The final round between Timur Valiev and Tito Jones.
Valiev's got a wrist. He's going to look to isolate that arm. Now here's the position Tito needs to get his back on the fence. Now he can start to use that fence almost as a partner and push himself to his feet. Oh, he was up and brought himself back down. Tito Jones brought himself back to the canvas. I'm not sure why. He was all the way to his feet. And Valiev has now really improved position. He's looking for the mount. He can clear Tito's hand off his knee. He'll have side control. There it is.
So Tito Jones, was just moments away from standing this fight up, and now he finds himself giving up side control to Timur Valiev, and just in a terrible position right now, not only because he has nothing to do here offensively, but he's under 30 seconds to go, and he needs something.
Yes, and I am very impressed that Valiev is continuing to work. He's very tired. It's been a very high-paced fight. He's got this round secured, and he's still continuing to improve his position. I believe that's why Ali Aziz is constantly saying, this guy's like a video game character. This guy's got a big future in front of him. I'm now seeing what I've been hearing.
And it will go to the judges after 3 rounds in the bantamweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of professional fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Chris Flores and Dennis O'Connell score at 30-27. Tom Gabauer scores at 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Timur Lucky Valiev.
So a unanimous decision goes the way of Timur Valiev, who runs his record to 10-1. The young man from Dagestan, Russia, only 1 speed all the way forward, but a great fight by Tito Jones as he goes the distance with Valiev in the bantamweight division. Still to come, the main event plus the co-main event. David Branch will not underestimate his opponent, Teddy Holder. That's the co-main event of the night, tonight, live on NBCSN.
I have not taken Teddy Holder lightly, and I will not be taking him lightly. Every man is a threat in there. It doesn't matter whether he's very skillful or not so skillful. I'm going to be looking to eliminate the threat as quickly as possible.
Gentlemen, here we go. It is time for your co-main event of the night. It is for the inaugural World Series of Fighting Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, making his way to the Decagon, please welcome Teddy Holder. It's on, fight fans. It is time for your co-main event event of the night. Your co-main event is brought to you by Sand Nutrition. 5 rounds for the inaugural World Series of Fighting Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, introducing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon. His record, impressive. 9 victories, 1 defeat. 7 wins coming by way of knockout, 2 by submission. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 202 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, by way of Henderson, Tennessee. Introducing Teddy the Hitman Holder.
All right, the spoiler, the #1 contender, Teddy Holder. He needs to clinch. He needs to get takedowns. He's got big size on it. Branch is the one moving up to this weight class. Teddy needs to use that size in his advantage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record 16 victories versus 3 defeats, 5 wins by knockout, 5 by submission, currently riding a 6-fight win streak. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing 204 pounds, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. He is the undisputed, reigning World Series of Fighting middleweight champion of the world, David Branch.
And for David Branch to grab his 2nd championship, he's got to use his speed. He's also got a reach advantage. Being the smaller guy makes him a little faster. If he can stay on the outside, I think he can avoid the attacks of Teddy Holder.
Your referee for the co-main event is Al Gaini.
So we are set to go, the co-main event, this for the light heavyweight title belt. Cap Kelly gets us started here live on NBCSN.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
Remember, this is scheduled for 5 rounds. It'll be interesting who wants to push the pace on this one.
I'll tell you, I don't know a ton about Teddy Holder, but neither does his opponent, David Branch. There's not a lot out there on him. We know the guy's got nerves of steel. We know he's got ice water running through his veins. He is not intimidated by this type of an atmosphere, but as far as his skill set goes, we're all learning. David Branch pushes him into the fence right in front of us. Finding a single, drags him down to the ground. It's an excellent position for David Branch. He is a ground master. Talked about it earlier, Todd, but he earned his black belt under the legend himself, Renzo Gracie. And one thing about the grappling, I can't emphasize this enough, Todd, but when guys are dry, when it's early in a fight, that's where you've got big problems. That's where you're going to have your most success and opportunity to find a submissional because you don't have that sweat yet. There's no ability for your opponent to slip out of it. Oh, big elbow by Holder.
Teddy Holder staying active on his back, not being submissive as David Branch pushes the pace early on. Now Branch posturing up and raining down some big punches. Holder trying to answer back with some up kicks and doing a great job up against the cage.
Branch has moved into side control here. When Branch's head is near Teddy Holder's head, he is looking for submissions. When he separates his head, when he gains posture and distance, that's when the ground and pound is going to come in. So right now, when you notice that Branch's head is low, that means he's in grappling mode.
Oh, big elbow from David Branch.
And right here, as Branch starts to sit up and posture away, that's where the strikes come. Oh, he's transitioning here. This is the big problem for Teddy Holder. Branch is looking for a rear naked choke.
Oh,
he's coming
boy.
to the chin. Holder needs to take both hands and attack Branch at the wrist. Right on the glove. He needs to take both his hands. Holder is not even beginning to do this. He looks very lost in this position, Todd.
Uh-oh.
He's still not hand fighting correctly.
That's it. That is all over. David Branch is your light heavyweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 2 minutes 21 seconds of round number 1. Your winner and new World Series of Fighting light heavyweight champion of the world, David Branch.
A lot of hard work, but it has paid off tonight here in Phoenix as David Branch is the winner in the light heavyweight division. We will talk to the man with not one but two belts when we return live on NBCSN. David Branch is your winner.
You stepping up and now your dignity is on the line. I'm in the zone, I know your will is gonna bring the time. There's too much at stake and no one ever step aside. And we're ready, yes, my team is...
David Branch with a very dominating performance gets it done in round number 1 by way of the rear naked choke. The two-time belt holder in the World Series of Fighting is now standing by with Chael Sonnen.
I'm here with the two-time world champion, Mr. Branch. How's it feel, champ?
It feels real good, you know. Thank you for everybody that believed in me from the start to the finish. Charlie, I know you in the house, baby. I'd like to thank Rodney Rogers and Virtue Stream, all my coaches, David Esposito, Leonard Wilson, my boxing coach, Jamal Patterson, Gerard Rinaldi, Azad Watches, my daughter. This is for my son right here, Amir. I love you. It feels great. And one thing I gotta say, I know that there's people here watching me on TV and in the arena. For 85 and at light heavyweight, I'm gonna take some time off and get nice and healed up. You want my belt? Come and take it from me. They ain't going nowhere.
Now, Clifford Starks says that that is his belt, and my question to you isn't to agitate you, champ, but my question is, will you be defending both belts, or are you going to surrender one and just dominate one division?
All I see is gold. Nobody's taking what I got. I came from the gutter, from nothing, okay? Clifford wants to come and get some of me, come and get some. I'm knocking you out. When I come back, I'm knocking you out. Straight like that. What?
There's just something about the way you say it that makes me believe you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the two-time world champion.
So David Branch has the two belts, and Clifford Starks is actually walking towards the cage, actually inside the cage. We might have an extra little bout here throwdown as Clifford Starks felt like he was being called out, so he made his way up there, but it's now all David Branch's time, as he said, to heal up, and then he will be back to defend both belts, and Clifford Starks will have to wait momentarily. David Branch telling me that he probably will not fight again in 2015, healing up and maybe look to 2016 before he gets back in Anchik. With two belts to defend, he'll be a very busy man. So the co-main event is done. That leaves us with just the main event of the night. Justin Gaethje and Luis Palomino, the champ. Gaethje will take on whoever the WSOF throws his way.
I'm the champion. I don't have a choice who I fight, when I fight. You know, whoever, if someone feels they're confident enough to take me on, and yeah, he does 2 times in a row, then I have to give him the opportunity. I'm the champion. I don't care who he is. I'll fight him.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate level of mixed martial arts today. It's the World Series of Fighting, and it is time for your main event of the night. It is sanctioned by the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission. And now, live from the Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. Are you ready? It's about to go down for everybody in the building and those watching live at NBCSN. Somebody make some noise! Your main event is brought to you by Alienware. 5 rounds for the World Series of Fighting Lightweight Championship of the World. And now, introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon, he is your challenger. His record, 23 wins, 10 defeats, 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 154.5 pounds. Fighting out of Miami, Florida by way of Lima, Peru, introducing Luis Baboon Palomino.
All right, Luis Palomino, our challenger here. Look, he's got to use lots of kicks right up the middle. He can't loop anything. Those are the things that get caught for the takedowns. Big kicks slow his opponent down.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on my left, fighting out of the red corner, he brings a perfect professional record to the Decagon. 14 wins, no defeats. 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Denver, Colorado by way of Safford, Arizona. He is the undefeated, undisputed, reigning, defending World Series of Fighting lightweight champion of the world. Presenting Justin the Highlight Gaethje.
All right, our champ's got to do a couple things to hold on to the belt. He's got to stay aggressive. He needs to lead the dance, and he needs to consider a little bit more defense while still staying on the attack.
All right, fighters, we went over your instructions in the dressing room. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now. If you wish, come out swinging.
So here we go. The main event of the night as Emily Miller gets us started live on NBCSN. Gaethje, Palomino 2.
You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Scheduled for 5 rounds. Chael Sonnen, I will be shocked if it goes all 5.
I would be stunned as well.
This fight brought to you commercial-free by Alienware. Justin Gaethje in the white trunks, Luis Palomino in the red trunks.
Palomino coming forward. Palomino, an expert ground fighter, but Gaethje an expert of getting his opponents to the ground, which means he largely gets to enjoy the pleasures of the top position. Gaethje stalking forward. Palomino needs to get off that fence. There he goes, back to the middle.
Justin Gaethje told me yesterday he cannot take breaks because when he takes breaks, he tends to go backwards, and that's something he can't do here.
Gaethje took a big shot there already. Thought I met Gaethje for the first. Gaethje's hurt. He's stumbling a little bit. That's the second big shot he's taken.
Oh, and a big shot to the stomach. The knee from Palomino, and Gaethje's in trouble.
Now, Gaethje's been in tussles like this before, Todd. He's hard to get rid of, but he is definitely hurt. I think Palomino's even surprised at his work. I'm not sure why he's allowing this clinch. He needs to lower his elevation, dig back to the body.
Gaethje just needs a few moments to clear his head. He looks stable on his feet, but Chael, for a moment there, he was a wobbly fighter.
Palomino stood back and looked at his work. He needed to step in there and finish. World famous coach Clayton Hires talks about this all the time. When you got a guy hurt, push him away and go back to the body. And I think Palomino's still got a chance. Todd, notice how Gaethje is bending over. That is an amateur wrestling move. That is not the posture that an MMA fighter has. And when he does that, his body is open. All Palomino needs to do is lift up a knee. It doesn't even have to be hard. Just lift it. It will hit the target. Gaethje in on a double. Palomino's going to need to dig inside or he's going to go for a ride.
And Gaethje goes back to his roots. Remember, the former Division I All-American wrestler at the University of Northern Colorado. If he's stunned, he's going to get this thing to the ground and go to his roots. Palomino said that he would use Gaethje's power as his downfall, and he did that early on.
That was an outstanding stand-up by Palomino. When a wrestler takes you down, he needs a moment to enjoy that position because of the effort he just went through. When Palomino pops back up,
he's down. Gaethje with a big uppercut, and Palomino's now in trouble.
Palomino's got an underhook. He can use this underhook to keep Gaethje off him.
And Palomino gives up the back, protecting his right side. So now it's Palomino in trouble, trying to survive, and he's still got 2 minutes to go.
This fight's as good as Ray Sembo promised it would be, and we are only halfway through the first round. The crowd is now on their feet, chanting Gaethje. I think both these guys are trying to seize up the moment a little bit. Palomino needs to bring a leg up, pick one leg, then the other, and get to his feet. And Gaethje just returns him the hard way. That's the problem with gravity, Todd. When you go up, you gotta come down.
That's 160 plus pounds that Gaethje just threw to the canvas, and now he's answering with the big elbows. Luis Palomino just trying to hang on. He's still got 1:15 to go.
And this whole fight is a battle of endurance. Who can stay in there longer? Gaethje just used a lot of energy, but Palomino, who wasn't quite as active, was having to hold the weight of Gaethje, so that's a problem for him as well.
Picking up right where they left off back in March in what could have been the fight of the year, and this first round has been amazing. Both fighters have been rocked, and we've got 45 seconds to go here in round one. This one's scheduled for 5.
Oh, I don't like that move choice by Gaethje. There's no need for that right now. Good focus techniques that have already worked, Gaethje. Palomino keeps putting himself about 12 to 20 inches from the fence. I'm not sure what kind of strategy that is. That's where he needs to be. Put Gaethje on the fence. What happened here? Oh, we got a low blow.
So a low kick with 16 seconds to go in round number 1. And now it becomes the discretion of the referee. It can take up to 5 minutes. Justin Gaethje, of course, he sweats it and says, no big deal.
No point taken away for our fans at home. It was a warning by the ref, ruled accidental. No point taken away. And Gaethje stocks him right back down.
That's it. Round number 1 is complete. Wow. How about that, Chael Sonnen? Welcome to the World Series of Fighting, my friend.
Absolutely outstanding.
So we are commercial-free all the way to the end, brought to you by Alienware as we listen in to Justin Gaethje's corner.
Okay, it's the space that you're getting in trouble, so I need to get in tight. The grappling is great because he gets up super tired. Okay, but he's looking to throw the low kick and then swing big shots because he's trying to get you to set. Does that make sense? Deep breath. Okay, wait, hold up. When we commit, we're 100% committed, right? Okay, no backing out. I don't want that space. You throw a shot, you're fucking in. Let's get him to the floor. Okay, here we go, baby. You're in.
Well, it was Justin Gaethje that got rocked first here, Chael.
Yeah, Gaethje felt this. You know, there was a couple of shots there, Todd. The first one, he kind of hid. The second one, not so much. Ultimately, he took a knee to the body and just went down. But he did recover. He was very hard to get rid of, and I think he won the round. Even with that falling down, he had a knockdown of his own later on. It was very tight, but I did think that Gaethje won that round. The question is, who's got more in the tank?
What a round as we move to round number 2. Gaethje in the white trunks, Palomino in the red.
As far as ring control, Gaethje still coming forward and Palomino operating just on the outside of that fence. That's one place you don't want the wrestler to put you on the fence, but it's up to Palomino. He's got to get those feet working. There's a good combo. There's a good combo, Todd. There's a good big right hand.
So Palomino coming forward and scoring, Gaethje covering up. There is no back down in Luis Palomino. He took a pretty heavy beating, 2 slams in round number 1, and now he comes out early in round number 2, firing off combinations that would make Boss Rutten happy. And he gets rocked. Palomino has been rocked, and Gaethje jumps in.
Palomino needs to bring his hips in. Don't get bent over at the waist here. There he goes. Look how he pushes his hips. Now he trades position.
So Palomino eats those 2 shots. He's got a cut now on his brow. And Justin Gaethje, in typical Gaethje fashion, just smothers it.
I like how Palomino is pulling on the head there. I don't think he's going to find a guillotine, but he can wear Gaethje's battery down, making him carry his weight. Gaethje certainly the aggressor, but anytime Gaethje starts to close this distance, Palomino comes on with a 3-beat combo and ends up stunning him. There's another good knee to the body. Oh, big punch to the body.
This is just round 2. Are you kidding me?
Palomino took a knee to the forehead there. Palomino has had great luck going to Gaethje's body, and it appears to be Gaethje's kryptonite of sorts. He has been responded when he gets hit there. He has doubled over it a little bit. I would encourage Palomino's corner to get him to continue to attack that body, Todd.
Halfway through round number 2. This one's scheduled for 5. Justin Gaethje is your lightweight champion. Luis Palomino looking to take away that belt. Wow, Palomino again eats another shot.
No way to question that Palomino's got a good chin. See, he's taking some hammers out there. There he digs back to the body, Todd. I really should just be going to the body. It's hurting Gaethje. It appears to slow him down each time.
More of a slip than a knockdown. Palomino comes up and fires off 2.
Good straight jab there by Gaethje. Gaethje once again has backed Palomino all the way to the fence, but he doesn't come in and close the distance. He just keeps him there.
Palomino looks absolutely exhausted right here, and he keeps coming forward. Hands are dropping down, Chael. It could be dangerous.
I'm seeing the same thing. I'm noticing that when he does attack, he has good power, but he takes a lot of breathers in between combos, doesn't he, Todd?
Absolutely, as we bring you this fight commercial-free, brought to you by Alienware. Luis Palomino, absolutely gassed here with under a minute to go in round number 2. Justin Gaethje continuing to stalk, and just when you think Palomino is done, he fires off a quick combination. Gaethje happy to oblige. Oh, he's down!
He's down! This one is over!
Palomino was absolutely rocked, and Gaethje shuts it down, and still your champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ryan Brueggemann has stepped in and stopped the main event at 4 minutes and 30 seconds of round number 2, officially a technical knockout due to strikes. Your winner, and still the undefeated, undisputed, reigning, defending World Series of Fighting lightweight champion of the world, Justin the Highlight Gaethje.
We'll be back to talk to both fighters when we return at the end of a great evening here in Phoenix. It's World Series of Fighting 23 live on NBCSN.
I'm here with the champ, Justin Gaethje. Now, Justin, tonight is your night, but as you well know in this sport, it's got to move forward. As I came in here, Brian Foster says that he's next. Is he?
He better be. He better be ready, that's for damn sure.
He had one heck of a knockout tonight. Had that been you, could have you taken that shot?
He wouldn't hit me that. I was sloppy as hell. I watched in the back.
All right, now let me ask you a hard question. Tonight's fight was amazing. It's as good of a fight as I've ever seen. Was it better than the first?
Hey, I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought we fought for like 10 seconds. I really don't. Yeah, hell yeah, it must have been better because feels good.
Well, it went around and around. You retained your championship. Do you have any message for the fans?
Hey, you guys know this is my home state. Stafford, Arizona is my hometown, and this is unbelievable feeling right now, especially because you guys are all here to share it with me. I love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the champion of the world, Justin Gaethje. Now I'm joined by the silver medalist, if you will, Luis Palomino. And Luis, you're no longer like me. You're no longer undefeated in championship fights.
You know, all I can say is, like I said the last time, you guys have a hell of a damn champion out here. You know, Justin Gaethje is a stand-up man. You know, what he says is the truth, man. He's one of the best fighters in the world, definitely top 10 in my count. I'm no ref, you know, I can't see, you know, what the ref sees from the outside. I don't want to call nobody's job out, but you know, we're hard hitters, man. We're very hard hitters. We throw with everything. That's why we sell the way we sell. So we're bound to hit the floor sooner or later, you know what I mean? We're gonna get knocked down, we're gonna get rocked, but we're gonna get up because we're that tough, you know? My equilibrium was out. I got hit, I got caught. My equilibrium was out, but I was completely awake, you know? And I could have kept going, definitely, you know? I think when you have two hard hitters like this that can also take a punch, because we can take a punch, you know, we deserve a little more time to defend ourselves, you know, in my count, you know, not to put anybody down or anything like that. From what I do here is that there's gonna be a tournament to get the next shot at Justin. And I love this guy, I respect him, you know, with all my heart because he's the warrior that I am. And I want to fight him again, you know what I mean?
All right, so hold on. I want to make sure I understand this because there is an 8-man tournament coming out. This will take place in one night. Somebody will fight 3 men in one evening. The winner will become the #1 contender. Are you officially asking Ali to put you into that tournament?
First of all, I got to say I was blessed by God and blessed by World Series of Fighting to give me a chance right away. And I will earn my next shot. I'll come in this tournament, I'll knock everybody out in that tournament just to fight this guy again because I love him that much. I love him so much I want to hit him.
That is an amazing entry into an 8-man tournament. And look who just joined us, Ali. Will you put Luis Palomino in the 8-man tournament?
This guy, whatever he wants, whatever he asks for, the way he fight, he deserves it. Whatever he wants, he will get.
That means we need 7 more people. Stick around. Check out the WorldSeriesOfFighting.com. More details to come.
All right, so Chael Sonnen, what a night we saw it, and it all culminated with Justin Gaethje and Luis Palomino. It was scheduled for 5, we only needed 2, but it was an amazing 2 rounds. Gaethje, Palomino living up to the hype. David Branch making history tonight. He picks up another belt in the organization. He is now the light heavyweight title belt holder to go alongside his middleweight title holder. Gets the victory in the first round over Teddy Holder. Timur Valiev, keep an eye on him. He gets the win. It goes the distance against Tito Jones. And Phoenix Jones gets his first victory in the organization, getting by Roberto, Yong, Brian Foster in a very quick fight with LaRue, Burley. And Foster, you might want to throw his name into that 8-man tournament. Earlier tonight, we had a great fight in the bantamweight division. Right now, we want to take you to round 2 in the bout between Randy Steinke and Joey Miolla. Ray Sefo joining Chael Sonnen on the call.
I tend to agree with him, but number 2 is underway.
Keep that movement. Keep that movement. Yes. Yes. There it is. Good job, man. Yeah.
There's a good combo by Steinke.
That's all day. Great work.
I like both guys who just, keep working off that jab, finding range, especially Miolla. He's a shorter guy. He's got to find that range, keep that left hand out, and see where he's at.
And for some of our fans at home, big uppercut misses. For some of our fans at home that aren't totally understanding Steinke's game plan here of wearing him down slowly with kicks to the leg, as a 6-time world champion, you can attest those take a toll.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw that in the first Palomino-Gaethje fight. Eventually, those leg kicks caught up to Palomino, which ended up ending a fight in the 3rd round.
That outside kick again by Steinke. Molina times, throws his own right hand down the middle.
Stand busy, Randy. Good job. Nice. Way attack the leg.
Steinke's having a little bit of trouble with the range that Molina is forcing. Molina is just staying a little bit outside of range. Steinke's having to stalk him and walk him down and back him up. It's making it hard for him to get his offense off. He's got to time everything just right. There's a big kick.
Yeah, that was nice.
Way to take his legs out. Way to take his legs out.
That almost looked like the Ben Henderson kick right there.
That's, of course, his teammate. I bet he's been on both sides of that in the practice room plenty of times. That's Henderson, and there's that leg kick again, Ray. That's the 3rd time that Molina's caught it. Molina with a big left hand. Molina's looking for space. This is very smart.
Miolla should break away and just start, throwing bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Steinke's trying to hold on here. Miolla for a correction in the way I've been enunciating the name earlier there. Another big, this time a right hand. Steinke back to his feet. I think he's recovered. Boy, he took a big shot. He looks to have his wits about him now. And Ray, it looks like this fight just got underway.
Yeah, it really just did.
Things are changing exactly halfway.
Absolutely, and this is where Steinke's experience we talked about earlier is going to kick in. I mean, he got tagged in, got hurt, gathered himself, and now he's back in the, back in his groove again.
Miolla has finally stepped in. I was critical of him a minute ago. He was keeping too much space. He's finally stepped in those 6 inches. He's willing to trade, and when he lands, he's got incredible power.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not certain why he spent half of this contest on the outside. It looks like he's doing his finest work inside.
Good job, man.
You were right just saying earlier about Steinke being, that half a step or half an inch out because he seems to be reaching with that right hand, or left hand in this case. He's a southpaw.
There's a big duff down the middle. It missed. Oh my goodness, Ray! This one's over. Get in there, ref!
Done.
Wow!